I'd like to call to order the Westerly Town Council meeting for Monday, February 2nd, 2026. All councils are here except for Councilor Aiello, who we expect soon. Town manager, solicitor is here, town clerk and town sergeant. First on the order is invocation with Councilor Shalaba.
Just wanted to say today, our lovely friend Puxatani Phil saw his shadow, so 6 more weeks of winter. So basically, just a little public service announcement. Please be careful out there. Do your sidewalks, check on your neighbors, help each other out when you can. Thank you.
Thank you. So to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Next, we have recognition, awards, and memorials. First is congratulations to the Westerly Armory, the 125th anniversary. Councilor Shalaba.
The Westerly Town Council extends congratulations to the Westerly Armory in recognition of the 125th anniversary of its construction on the triangle of land bounded by Railroad Avenue, Dixon Street, and West Street. The current granite and brick armory was erected in 1901 after a wood-framed armory on Main Street burnt down on April 30th, 1899. Excuse me. Many veterans of the community went to war, proudly stepping out on the great doors of the Westerly Armory. The Rhode Island National Guard abandoned the armory in 1996, and it was purchased by the town of Westerly for $1 and leased to a local volunteer organization, Westerly Armory Restoration, Inc., who took the reins to restore the neglected building. Volunteers have worked continuously throughout the years to restore, maintain, and fund purpose for this historic military building, which has become a museum of community and local militaria, an event venue, and home to America's oldest active community band, the Westerly Band. The Town Council extends congratulations and best wishes to the Westerly Armory on this memorial occasion and commends its volunteers who continually work to maintain the building so that we all remember what a noble building represents. In witness hereof, we have hereby set our hands and caused the seal of the town of Westerly to be hereunder affixed this 26th day of January, 2026, signed by all councilors.
Thank you. Congratulations. The Armory is such an asset for Westerly. There's so many events there that we all enjoy. So thank you for coming and accepting this anniversary award. Next is congratulations to the Wood River Health, the 50th anniversary. Councilor Vandover.
Good evening. In recognition of the 50th anniversary, Wood River Health has been providing compassionate care since 1976, when it began as a small clinic to meet the medical needs of southwestern Rhode Island and southeastern Connecticut with compassion and dignity. Wood River Health has remained deeply rooted in its founding mission to ensure that quality health care is accessible to everyone in the locations in the community, and that same mission flourishes today as its Hope Valley and Westerly locations. Wood River Health delivers comprehensive, affordable, patient-centered care, from primary care and women's health to dental services, behavioral health, counseling, and substance use support. The Town Council commends Wood River Health for the outstanding health care services it provides to the members of the community and congratulates Wood River Health for all it has achieved over the years and further extends best wishes for continued success in all its future endeavors. In witness hereof, we have hereby set our hands and caused the seal of the town of Westerly to be hereunto affixed this 26th day of January, 2026.
Thank you very much. Next, we have presentations, which there are none, and citizens' comments. Comments within this section will be limited to the agenda items only. No signups. Okay. So there's no signups. If there's anybody in the audience that would like to speak, this is a good time. Seeing none.
I'd like to just say,
There's no council's response. Come on, don't.
people got to pay attention in this town. We have 40 people sign up if we were going to appoint somebody to the multicultural committee, but we're doubling and tripling the sewer tax, and now one person in this town is paying attention. I'm sorry.
It's all for a good reason. That's
Okay.
the sewer tax. Okay, next is consent calendar. A, approval of minutes, regular for 1/12/26. Do I have a motion?
I motion to approve the amended minutes that were provided.
I'll
Second.
second that.
Motion made and seconded by Councilor Shalaba to approve the amended minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Next, executive minutes of 12/15/25 sealed.
Make a motion to accept and seal.
Motion made and seconded by Council Shalaba to approve the sealed minutes. All in favor?
Full vote.
Poll vote, Council Vandover,
Going to, what's the word? Abstain. Thank you.
Abstain.
Yes.
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 chair votes yes, so it passes 4-2. Next, fiscal matters, resolution authorizing the addition of the tax rolls, $2,002.66. Second, resolution authorizing the deletion of to the tax rolls of $20,763.99. Third, resolution authorizing payment to the law office of Cameron and Middleman LLP litigation matters, $3,412.75. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve items 1, 2, and 3 in fiscal matters.
Second.
Motion made and seconded by Council Healy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Fiscal matters are approved. Resignations and appointments. Resignation of Stephen Linner, Board of Finance. Move to accept with regret. Thank you for your years of service, Mr. Linner.
So moved.
All in favor of accepting?
Aye.
Aye, with regret.
Excuse me. Was there a motion and a second? I had a motion, I believe, by Councilor Haley. Is that correct? Was there a second?
I don't think you need a second, do you?
On a
I'll second it.
resignation, not on an appointment.
I'll second the resignation.
Certainly, you want to discuss?
I just want to point out, and we're going to be talking a lot about the budget tonight, but the Board of Finance saw a $106 million budget that this Board of Finance last year was presented to them. $106 million, they did not make one line change, not 1 cent. I guess they just thought we nailed it. So thank you, Steve, for serving, but I would hope that the next Board of Finance would do a little bit more than that.
I'll say something for the Board of Finance. I attended all their meetings, as did Councilor LaPetra, and they were great discussions back and forth with the department heads and the manager. And it was a well thought out budget, well vetted.
Sean nailed it, $106 million and didn't change a penny. He nailed
It's
it.
a lot of money to run Westerly, isn't it? Next resignation appointments, we're going to postpone or at the next meeting, we'll go through the items 2A through F. Do I have a motion to continue?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made,
Discussion?
seconded by Council Niemeyer. Discussion?
Yeah, this is the Appointments Committee.
Yes.
Okay, I realize they haven't met, but obviously the town council does have the right to bring these forward. This isn't none in our rules to say that just the Appointments Committee could bring these forward. Now, I want to point out that we have, on the Economic Development Commission, we have a secretary whose position has expired, who's filing the minutes with the state. On the Board of Assessment Review, the position has expired. I guess we've been waiting 7 months. We've had an application for the Quarter of Wood. I don't think we've had a call for a Quarter of Wood since the 1870s, but 7 months later, we still haven't brought a name forward. Do you want to do a few of these tonight, please? I mean,
We have a procedure. The town council rules has a appointments committee, and they are 3 people. This Council Niemeyer has stepped down. Council Vandover, Council Healy, Council Shalaba are on the committee, and they are going to have a meeting and do interviews as their bylaws are. And Council Healy.
And then just to add on to it, to let everybody listening know, there is currently 1 interview that has not happened, and that's because the application just came in for the resignation that we just accepted. And the majority of these do not have applications. So I know it sounds like we're just not bringing things forward, but we don't have anything to bring forward without any applications, or without anybody saying that they want to continue working or volunteering on the committee. We can't just make up names to bring forward to you guys. I apologize. The next meeting, everything that is listed that can be filled because there are applicants will be brought forward.
May I?
Quarters of wood is a hard one. It's ceremonial. It's required by the state. We can't take it out of our rules. So that's the one example given. That's something we really don't have control over. Councilman Dover?
Yeah, I just want to say on the list that we have that was put in the agenda package, most of these people that you see listed there are already currently serving on other boards. We have interviewed everyone. However, we either A, did not think that they would fit in that spot, B, put them somewhere else, or C, they're already on another board, and D, they don't want to be on a second board or a third board. So everything that you see here may look very busy. However, we've only got one, as Counselor Healy said, we only have one interview that we need, and that's for Board of Finance. We did send out an invitation for another one. That woman, however, is unable to attend. She's going to be out of town. But those are the only two outstanding applications that we have that we need to interview for. So I don't, I'm not really sure why this was brought up, but
It was kind of the mix between Councilor Niemeyer getting off, Councilor Schlaba getting on.
correct,
I
that
thought
too.
during the agenda meeting that there was going to be a Thursday meeting with the appointments committee. So
Yes.
that's how this got on.
I'd like
And
to,
there- And hold on, if I don't mind, let me just finish, and then you can say. I mean, Westerly Bike Path and Cycling, 2019, that's the last time they met. Neighbor Day, I know that's in the charter, 2013 was the last time they met. Westerly Public Parking, 2017, that was the last time they met. So yes, there are many that need to be looked at and either removed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
so-
let the clerk sort this, unless you want to add now.
I want to add a
We- I mean, I think we have a grip on what's going on there. We're pretty well versed in what we're doing. We're organized. We have done our job, and we will continue to do so. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to explain the problem here. You got 3 rookie counselors, or you did, that don't understand our rules. First of all, you said it too, Chris.
I want to have some respect. Please
Okay,
don't refer to,
Okay.
when you were on last term, you were a rookie.
Yeah, and we
Counselor,
brought the
I'm
names
gonna make
forward, and we
appointments.
brought all the names forward. That's what we did. When an application came in, we brought it forward. We didn't sit on it for an hour or a week or a
You
year.
didn't interview everybody like we
No.
are, because it's
Okay.
very necessary for us to
It's
interview
not-
people. I'm
It's not in
sorry.
your- Okay.
It's our name
I
on
have
it.
I have the floor, please.
Point of order?
Yeah, thank you. Okay. First of all, may I have the floor?
You have the floor.
Okay. It's not in the
For 5
bylaws.
minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, you all set over there? All right. It's not in the bylaws. There are no bylaws that say you have to interview anyone. We didn't interview people at all in the end, but as recently as 2022, there were no interviews. They just brought the names forward when the applications came in. So there's nothing in the bylaws that say you have to interview anyone. In fact, the interviews are just a waste of time. But if you want to, but it's not in our town council rules, there's no by rules also for the subcommittee. So I don't know why they're coming up with that. Here's the other thing, and this is where I don't, and if either Alexander or Rose can answer this question, and I almost guarantee they can't.
Please go through the chair.
They seem to think that you can't serve them more on one committee. Is that what you think it is? Because that's what you're saying.
No, sir,
No,
that's
let's
not
just
true.
have one through the chair.
Okay, well, so why am I hearing all the time that they've already been appointed to one committee, they can't be on a second committee? Where's that coming from? Go ahead.
We're not are you done? Are you finished, Mr.?
No, I'd wait for an answer.
Well, you have one chance to speak, then we'll go through this. 7 of us. Councilor Aiello has now joined us.
Okay, it's just that they have to know the rules of the town council, and this has to get done. When people bring an application forward, just bring it forward to the council. You don't have to sit on the applications for 8 months, waiting to set up an interview with people that probably don't even want to interview in the first place. You could put people on more than one committee, okay? And 90% of our drama has come from this committee. Mike was resigned because he's the smartest council up here. He got away from it. So let's just bring the names forward, please.
All right, thank you. Councilor Healy.
Thank you. In response to that, you have to know what our charter says to answer that question. I would assume as a sitting town councilor, one would know that. You cannot serve on 2 boards there are 4 rows that you can't be on both. So that right there, let me just debunk that.
I can tell you the four boards.
It's my
Councilwoman
turn,
Beecham, please
actually.
Let her finish.
So
Yes.
we do have multiple boards that you cannot be on two at the same time. For example, I'll just throw out Planning Board and Finance, Board of Finance. You can be on both. You can be on one, you can't be on both.
That's not correct. That's not correct.
Councilwoman Beecham, please.
Well, she's not correct. She doesn't understand how to
Mike?
read the charter. I want to
Do you have
explain
to
how to
shut off
read.
your mic?
Okay.
Next, we had a slew of applications that came in where a individual applied for 8+ committees. That individual should not be serving on 8+ committees. And there wasn't just one applicant that did this. So when Counselor Vandover says that we have interviewed all of these people, we have. Just because their name is next to something doesn't mean that we haven't interviewed them, spoke to them, or thought about it. But we actually, I'm sorry to be repeating you, Counselor Vandover, we thought that they were better in another spot. If we have somebody that can be on the Board of Finance and they're more interested in that than they are the Municipal Land Trust, where are we going to put them? So the committee with and without Mike works extremely well. And it is extremely bad governance to just say, go ahead, apply, we'll bring you in. Come on into town hall after hours. Come on in. We don't know who you are. You don't have to do any kind of checks. You literally have to fill out a little application that is less than a McDonald's application. Okay, and we do have bylaws. In August, our committee set 3 very clear bylaws. We will be going over them at our next meeting if you would like to attend in the audience.
No, no.
We have these things. If there were any kind of communication, this all could not happen, doesn't have to happen at all. Everything on that committee is being run above board, and it is being run, as said, better than ever before, because we are physically meeting with people who care about us and their neighbors and their streets and what's going on. And that's important. When you're sitting up here, it's our responsibility to know these people, to have a relationship with them, so they know, oh, I know, I talked to Rose and Alex and Mike. We can go to them. They know me. That's how it should be. Community, togetherness. None of this is weird, not normal.
Okay, anyone else want to speak? Council Niemeyer?
Yeah, I do want to say that I do really believe in this committee and the things that they're doing. Choosing to start interviewing candidates after that not being the process, I think was a bold step, and I think it's been a great one. It has slowed things down, but I think it's been worth it. The vacancies we're seeing, I don't think are an extreme number compared to years past. And altogether, you know, my absence is, I did not leave the committee because I found the committee to be frustrating. I left it because I had a family time commitment that I wanted to dedicate myself more to. I really still believe in this committee. I believe in Councilor Vandover and Councilor Healy and now Councilor Shalaba's ability to pull it off just the way it is right now. And they have my full support still.
And anyone else? Madam Clerk, did you want to say something? Oh, okay. Councilor Healy said you did. Anyone else?
I want to
Hasn't
clarify,
spoken yet?
for the chart, I just want to
No,
clarify the chart.
Mr. LaPicha,
Just
you're
the-
not recognized yet. You're not
I
recognized.
only
Anyone
wanna
else
speak-
want to speak?
I
I would just say that, as someone that hasn't spoken yet, that, I had a lot of, input from the public that felt strongly that the committee should continue, you know, through their recognition of excellence or getting the right people into the right spots and interviewing the people. I've said it on this podium that the whole 7 councilors should take this over. I was corrected very strongly that the committee is a good thing for Westerly, and that's what we're continuing with.
Only to help the committee is the only reason I want to speak again, just to help the committee. Okay, by charter, there's 4 boards: planning, zoning, EDC, and the licensing board. You can't serve on 2 of those 4. You can still serve on the planning and concerts on the beach. You can serve on 2 boards, but you can't serve on 2 out of 4 of those boards. Just to clarify. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have a motion on the table to continue this. All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed?
I pose.
All right, 6-1 in favor of continuing. Councilor Peter voted no. Moving on, item 6, public hearings. Proposed ordinance, an ordinance and amendment of Article 1, door-to-door sales of Chapter 202 of the Westerly Code of Ordinances entitled Retail Sales. Discussion and possible action. Madam Clerk, you had asked for this? You wanted to-
Yes, we got a motion to open a public hearing, correct? Make a motion to open a public hearing?
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded by Councilor Van Dover to open the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Councilor Yellow. Almost missed that. Yes, you want to go forward?
I can just explain why this is coming forward. This came up, somebody had applied for a door-to-door sales, and based on the current ordinance we had, they were denied the ability to do that, and upon review from the solicitor's office, it was deemed that the current ordinance we have in place is violates the First Amendment rights on some. So as a result, the solicitor's office came up with this proposed ordinance before you. And you'd notice there's a new one in front of you. There was, because the fee schedule was going to be associated with the fee list and the ordinances. But upon further discussion with Bill's office, it was determined that it should be best put into the ordinance, which is what's outlined in red on the copy you got tonight. And then we can discuss it when we go, but there was an issue on some questions came up on the no solicitation list and how often someone had to do it. So we put an annual, you have to renew it annually if you want to be on a no solicitation list. And the date mirrors the date of when the licenses get renewed for door-to-door sales. So
Thank you. So the ordinance that's online is different?
the one you have at your seat just has a provision for the fee. And the one under the no solicitation is just indicating the solicitation list will expire each year on December 1st. So someone would have to submit their name annually to be on a non-solicitation list. So the
Okay.
outline, the ordinance, if you read the no solicitation, you can fill out a form and you can be placed on the no solicitation list, which means when someone applies for a door-to-door sales license, that they will be provided with a list of people that are on a no solicitation list, and they can't go to those particular homes or, residences. And you also have another option, if you read it, you can put no solicitation on your door or the door, and they can't come to your home at that point either. So the reason we're putting an expiration, and we discussed putting an expiration on the no solicitation list, because the license, when one applies for it, is valid for a year. So if somebody, say December 1st, they get a license, and then March 1st, somebody puts their name on a non-solicitation list. Well, their license is good till next November 30th. They're going to have a list. So we're going to come up administratively in a way to either submit an updated list monthly to the vendors that might have door-to-door sales licenses to put any additional names on them, but there has to be a term of when someone, so we figured annually for the non-solicitation list too. If somebody wants to be on a non-solicitation.
So just administrative, the red fees is $50 per permit issue. And the time is every December 1st.
Correct. Now, just to be clear, very clear, this door-to-door sales opens up the door for more vendors to go door to door. There used to be utility companies and like that. Now it's open to just about anything can go to your door. If you have to apply for a license, we'll provide a badge and ID when they apply for the license and so forth, but it allows more people to solicit. There's not, we provide, the town will provide it. Once they register, they pay the fee, we'll give them an ID card that they will have to have on them. If they don't, that's a fine also. You can see the fine outlined in it.
Councilor Healy.
I can't pull it up online because I don't have my login for the Sun. No, for the Westerly Sun. I believe they got the hours switched. So when it would be on A5, I just can't click it. So our ordinance is showing the 10 to 6, which they kept it at the original, the 9 to 7, I think. Okay, this is coming to me, like I said, I can't confirm.
There
it,
was an
so-
original one which am I correct, Mary? We changed that?
Yes, I
It is
have with-
definitely changed in here, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it was, it could have been like 9 to 7 or something, and Councilor LaPetra asked that it be
Yeah.
changed from 10 to 6.
Yeah, I
which we
just
did.
wanted the public to know that perhaps, without me being able to say right here, right now, perhaps the time that was published was wrong by the Sun, not by the town.
That's good. Any other questions? Councilor Petra?
This is the first of all, I want to be officially the first name on the no solicitation list, Mary, if you can put that on. That was the first time I'm seeing that, it's going to expire. I don't agree with this expiring. I'm not gonna call up every single year and re-put my name on the no solicitation list. I'd like to be a lifetime member in one call. Now, I understand you have to clean it up every once in a while, but why don't we clean it up through the voter registration rolls we could do it like that, but I'm not calling every single December 1st to put my name on a no solicitation list. I'm telling Mary tonight, I don't want anyone knocking on my door for another 25 years. I'm done.
So just put a sign on your door. And
I don't want, I gotta buy a sign now? Just, I have
It's just-
encyclopedias, I have my vacuums,
People
I don't need
move-
any.
People they move out of town, they come back, their address changes.
That's why we have voted.
I mean, how do you,
We
don't
could
know.
coordinate with the board of canvassers. When the voter registration rolls get cleaned up, then
You want us to match all the board of canvassers' names with the non-solicited?
if I don't have to call every December 1st, yes. That would be fine with me. Please.
Put some responsibility on the person that wants the
Sure.
non-solicitation.
I'm just trying to watch TV and I don't need to knock on my door. So, yeah, I'm serious about this. I really would like to do it a one-time shot.
May I direct a question to the manager,
Yeah.
or do I have to wait?
Councilor Healy?
Just a question for Mr. Lisi. It's correct that our veterans and our senior tax exemption has to be done every year, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
There's a lot you have to do every year. I mean, the burden, I don't disagree with you, but the burden on the staff to try to manage that is going to be,
Couldn't you just get the list from the board of canvassers, or couldn't they just, here you go, and just copy and paste? Wouldn't that be one way to do it? Voter registration? No?
you could have 1,000 people on a list that you're matching addresses to see if they match. You have.
I'm
to
just
find
saying
them, For the
So
name and address.
This is because of, I don't know, First Amendment rights or,
First Amendment right. There was some pushback from, on some of the door-to-door sales on First Amendment right. They have a right to do that, which again, so
So
the
before-
county's office agreed.
before this was enacted, it was a perpetual no contact zone. You couldn't couldn't
There
go
was
to
only limited
sales.
vendors that could go to your door, utility companies, cabled solar. You couldn't, the magazine sales and stuff like that. It was.
Politicians.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say,
Keep in mind, it's still.
this is
allowed-
an election year. Does politicians fall under
Politicians
this?
does not fall under this, no.
Yeah,
You can. politically, you can go
Chris,
door to door.
procedurally, Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
you want to ask the public if anybody's here to speak for or against?
Oh, we're still asking questions.
I mean,
you have any questions?
that may prompt a couple.
Sure. Do you have any?
No.
Okay.
I
would
just
say-
I just want to
Okay.
get this done.
I
Thank
would
you.
say that, I ran for office 3 times, and I had the common courtesy not to knock on anyone's door once and bother them.
Okay. Any other counselors? So we vetted that out. Anybody in the audience that would like to speak for or against the solicitation ordinance?
Just don't answer the door.
I'm sorry, sir?
Just don't answer the door.
Okay. It's good advice. Anyone else that would like to speak to this ordinance for or against? Seeing none, I'll entertain
Motion
motion.
to close the public hearing and adopt the ordinance as presented us with the 2 changes this evening.
I'll second that.
Motion made, seconded by Councilor Vandover. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
6-1, the motion passes, ordinance passes. Moving on, public hearings, proposed ordinance. An ordinance and amendment of Article 9, regulations of Chapter 206 of the Westerly Code of Ordinances entitled Sewers. Amend 206, Section 206-55A3, General Discharge Prohibitions. Discussion and possible action.
Motion to open the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Motion to open the public hearing, seconded by Councilor Vandover. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now in a public hearing. Mr. Manager?
Again, we went through this, so you already passed this. The only thing it's back before you for, if you look at the proposed ordinance, it's changing the pH level from 5.0 to 5.5. It was originally done that way. It just wasn't in the ordinance that you adopted that way. It said 5.0, so it's coming back before you just to go to the 5.5 limit. That's the only change.
Very good. Any questions? Seeing none, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak for or against this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to close the public hearing and adopt the ordinance?
I'll second that.
Motion made, seconded by Council Vandover. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance passes. Moving on to 7 unfinished business, there are none. Item 8, new business. First, we have to suspend Town Council Rules of Procedure, Rule 9D, council operations to discuss and consider the following items. Items 8A, B, C, D, E, F, and 8G. Do I have a motion?
Discussion.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to suspend town council rules. Aye.
Motion made, second by Council Healy. Discussion?
Why are we we want to do this a one and done in some of these? One of these is an $85 million sewer bond. One of this is going to double and then some on our sewer tax. I would hope that we're not trying to vote on these tonight, really. I hope we're not trying to push these through.
Okay.
I'm just
Any
saying.
other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to suspend the town council rules?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
No.
opposed?
No.
6-1, the town council rules are suspended.
If we're gonna do them all as a whole, then I'm a no. If we do them individually, then I
I'm
can.
going to revise mine as well. If we're doing them all as a whole, I'm a no as well.
Listen, we could do you want to approve the logo for the multicultural community tonight, that's fine with me, but we got to be serious about some of these, Chris.
We didn't say we were doing them all at once. We were just suspending the rules to have the discussion.
That's for all of them.
We're suspending the rules so we can, what are we doing?
You can discuss and consider. It's not just discussion only. We can discuss them without suspending the rules, but you're suspending the rules so you can take action tonight on all of these items.
Yes, so as Council Aiello has motioned or explained, this isn't to approve the items. This is to discuss them and then possible.
I went right over your head, Chris, right over you. That's not what Bill meant at all when he said that. How about we just go one by one? How about we do it like that?
I think we had a vote. Did you vote yes or no, Council Aiello? I missed it. Okay, so it passed 4-3. Item 8A, Multicultural Committee. The Town Council approval of the committee logo, discussion and possible action. This is a requirement of the Multicultural Committee as guided by the solicitor's office, that in order to advertise it under this logo, it has to have town council approval. What we have, is anyone from the Multicultural Committee yet? Can you come up? Thank you for coming in. No, they're going to tell us what it is. So if you could just explain, we have a printout for last week's meeting, but it's being heard tonight.
Excuse me, could you just, excuse me, could you just both state your names for the record so I have them?
Sharice Doror Marone. Tim Flanagan.
Will those microphones nice and close to you, please? Thank you.
Sharice Doror Marone. I'm the chair of the committee. Tim Flanagan.
So essentially, the committee needs town council authorization to utilize this logo, and this was developed last year.
Tim can explain a little bit about the.
Yeah, you have, I see you have the packet, so no reason for me to read it all unless you have questions. But basically, we did go through a process last year of inviting high school students who are residents of Westerly to participate in a logo contest. And with the panel of judges, we chose a winning logo, Hope Spalding Taft, and using funds approved by the town council, we awarded her a $500 prize for designing our logo, which you can see. I don't know if you have it in color or not, but if you don't have it in color, that's a little version of it in color for you. So we would like approval for using this logo to promote multicultural events in town. We have a process in place, which we have submitted to our liaison for the town attorney to review in terms of how would we have organizations request approval to use the logo and for what purpose. And then our committee would review those requests and either approve them or ask for more information if needed. And then the logo could be used to promote multicultural events as a symbol of celebration for multiculturalism in our community. And in order to help make people feel more welcome at events that bring us together as a community. So
Thank
if
you
you
very
have any
much.
questions for us, let us know.
Motion to approve.
Motion to
Second.
approve, seconded by Council Shalaba. Discussion,
Yes, discussion.
Council Healy.
We were trying to get it up on the screens in color, but I just wanted to give a shout out for Hope, who was the high school senior that created this and won at it was Neighbor Day, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So another big thing that the Multicultural Committee does, and that's exactly where this came from. Hope Spalding Taft, I believe. So congratulations to her, and it's a yes for me.
Council Aiello.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I saw the logo online, so I saw it in color. So thank you. And I just, well, I do have a question for you first. On the logo use, it says logo request form and a process for reviewing requests have been provided to the town council and town attorney for review. Is this what you're referring to, or is there another process?
There are two documents. One is the request form the organizations would use, and the other is our internal form for like a sort of a checklist for us to review the applications. So we've provided those to our liaison, but I think we have a new liaison now, so we want to make sure if you don't have it, we can send it.
Probably miscommunication there somewhere along the line. I appreciate all the efforts. I'm not going to support it tonight, and I'll tell you why. Because I think the public should see this and have the opportunity to view it. It's the first time I've seen it. And the process, I don't have a copy of the process. So if we're going to be approving the process too, then the agenda should actually say the process is included in the logo. So tonight is strictly the logo. There's nothing about a process on the agenda, so we can't approve that.
Okay.
But if it comes back, then you'd have my support. If I can see the process and we get it on the agenda and this is listed as a supporting document, I'd be behind it 100%. So if we want to move it to next week, I'm good with that.
Thank you, Council Aiello. Any other, we're in discussion. Any other questions or comments? Motion is on the table, second by Council LaPetra, second by Council Shalaba to approve the logo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
I'm abstaining.
One abstention, one opposition. Approved 5 to 1 to 2, 5 to 1 to 1.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, resolution of the town of Westerly approving the finance improvements to the Westerly wastewater system and approving the issuance of wastewater system revenue bonds and notes. Therefore, in an amount not to exceed $85 million. Discussion and possible action. So, Mr. Manager, you want to lead us through this?
Yes, so this is, as you well know, because I think the last three councils, and I just they got it up on the screen a little late if everybody wants to see it. That's the multicultural logo. We can leave it up there for a minute as I'm talking. So the last three councils have been dealing, last 3 or 4 councils have probably been dealing with this. We went to design, we went to everything. We came back with a price of $85 million. Everything is out to bid now as we speak. We've come before the council. We've applied through the infrastructure bank regarding the funding formula for it and the loans. We're currently, the way we have everything set up in the budget, which we do every year, is a 50-50 split. I know we switched it 1 year, 2 years ago, I believe, to a different split. It's a 50-50 split on the town side, on paying the debt, meaning the general budget, and also the sewer enterprise fund. So it's set up, as you go through the presentation, you'll get a better understanding of how it's broken down. So before you tonight is basically the resolution, and this is going to be broken down to two loans. It's either 2 for 42.5 or 1 for 45 and 1 for 40. And the reason it's getting broken down to the 2 loans is because the interest rates are anticipated going down. One, we don't need all the money all at once. It's a, it's a 2 or 3 year project, and we can substantially save some money by breaking it down to into two loans. So there's 2 resolutions before you. One is on the $85 million, which can be, explained. Then there's the rate charge. So there's 2 different rate charges. Just so everyone understands, if you're in the sewer district, you have a sewer user fee that you pay every single year. It gets split in 2. If you're on a residential side, you have 6-month billing cycles, and you have an ad valorem tax that's on your tax bill that you receive on your taxes if you're in the sewer district. If you're not, you don't receive those 2 taxes, but it's the impact on that it's going to have on those taxes moving forward for the first few years of the loan and moving forward therefore. So I guess I'll turn it over to Steve, and he can kind of go through it and explain where we're at to kind of give you a better understanding. So.
Sure. Good evening. My name is Steve Masseroni. I'm the town's municipal advisor. I've been working with the town for probably about 25 years when you issue debt. So the first resolution, and I work for PFM Financial Advisors. I'm a director in their Boston office. So the first resolution is authorizing up to $85 million in bonds and notes in 1 or more series to be issued through the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank. These bonds will be issued as a revenue pledge, not a GO backed by full faith, but they'll be backed by sewer fees, the sewer use fee, the sewer tax, as well as the support for the general fund of 50% of the debt. The infrastructure bank, the plan is to go to the infrastructure bank in 2 phases, as the town manager mentioned. The first phase, $45 million to borrow within the next couple of months, get the project going, come back whenever you expend those funds, likely 18 to 24 months, come back for the second tranche of $40 million. The infrastructure bank provides funding at subsidized rates. The subsidized rates are 1/3 off the market. So to keep the math simple, if the market rate today for tax exempt bonds is 4.5, they take 1/3 off, which is 1.5. You get a 3% rate, plus they add a 30 basis point annual fee. So your rate goes from a market rate of 4.50 to a subsidized rate of 3.30. So PFM was engaged, in addition to being your municipal advisor and assisting with the issuance of these 2 phases of bonds. One of the requirements of the trust indenture that was attached to your resolution is you have to provide certification that you have sufficient rates. So I'm going to talk about that with the next resolution on the rates, but I just want to hit on a couple things that are in the trust indenture. The trust indenture and the supplemental indenture that you have before you are in substantially final form. They're drafts, and they will be changed. The master trust indenture, I like to think of it as a 2-layer cake. The master trust is the base of the cake, and that's your legal document that you'll live with as long as these revenue bonds are outstanding. And in that indenture, there's provisions that you'll have sufficient rates to pay debt service. You have insurance on the properties, you'll have on the project, the sewer project, that you'll have a debt service reserve, that you'll provide annual reporting to the infrastructure bank. Excuse me. And these are pretty common covenants with any revenue bond indenture. And this indenture is one that's been used through the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank over the past 20 years with cities and towns across the state. The second layer of that cake is the supplemental indenture, which you have before you as well. And there's mostly blanks in that. Once the bonds are sold through the infrastructure bank, That information will be put into supplemental indenture and it'll be finalized. Fast forward 2 years, we come back for 40 million. You already have that base indenture in place, so all you'll be approving at that point would be the second supplemental indenture for the second 40 million. So tonight, what we're asking you to do is approve the resolution authorizing up to $85 million in revenue bonds. Bonds will be issued through the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank. Again, they'll be in 2 phases over a 2 or 3 year period. Just to give you an idea on interest rates, we'll talk a little bit about the modeling and the interest rates, but today, interest rates, as Sean pointed out, are slightly above average. Tax exempt rates are a little bit on the higher side if you look at historical averages, but they're not bad at all. So as I said, the rate today would be about a 4.40. When you bring it down and add the fees, it's about a 3.25. That's what we use for modeling purposes. And I should say that was a couple of weeks back. When I looked today, the rate would be about a 3.17. So there is a little cushion. Rates have come down a bit over the past month or so. Fast forward, who knows where rates will be in 2 years from now. You'll have to raise rates in 2 years to take on that additional $40 million. So I'll pause there and be happy to answer questions.
Thank you. Councilor Petra?
One thing you said I liked. I like that we're breaking it up 42 million and then taking the other 40 million. I think we're going to save money like that. You did say these bonds, this is where we're going to start to go on askew. Yeah, you said these bonds were secured by a sewer tax hike, right? Westerly's a pretty good bond rating, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, AA with S&P and AA.
All right, I wouldn't want to mislead my fellow councilors. We could secure this bond in another way. We don't have to raise our sewer tax the way you propose in order to secure this bond. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, say that
I
again.
said we don't have to raise our sewer tax the way that this resolution proposes in order to secure this bond. We have a good enough bond rating. We have other ways we could pay for it. It's not inherent that we raise our sewer tax to secure this bond. Is that correct when I say that?
You have to raise the rates.
You have to, but as long as we pay for it, as long as we come up with $85 million, why do we have to raise the rates? I mean, as long.
So that was going to be my second conversation with the rates, so I'll go there. So this is not full faith and credit GO. So you're right. The town's full faith and credit general obligation rating is AA with S&P and it's AA2 with Moody's. Great ratings. You have a great tax base, over 10 billion, right? We all know that. However, these bonds are not secured by full faith and credit. They're secured by revenues of an enterprise fund. And in order to borrow money through the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank, you have to certify as part of that master trust indenture that you have sufficient rates for the next 4 fiscal years, the current fiscal year and the next 3 fiscal years to support the first 45 million. Then we come back in a year or two, the second 40 million. So the infrastructure bank will not lend you a penny unless you have sufficient rates now to cover the future debt service.
And why couldn't we do that with the mill rate in our general fund? Why does it have to be through the enterprise fund?
So there's going to be 2 things. So pursuant to your charter, you have the flat fee, not based on consumption. It's the 356 or 358.
A regressive tax. You could call it what it is, a regressive tax.
So it's a flat fee that you charge. And then you have the small tax that you charge as well, as this town manager mentioned. So there's two forms of revenue. That one-time flat tax that's paid twice a year, as well as the tax to the on the tax base. Those are the revenues to the system. When we talk about this, the next ordinance, we prepared for you the 3 years of history, and it illustrates why you need to raise rates. You're borrowing. It's going to cost you $6 million a year once these 2 bonds. You have to pay back the $6 million, and because it's not full faith and credit. GO pledge, you have to raise rates before you issue the debt to certify that you have enough revenue.
My proposal is, we don't have to raise the rates this much. Now, I see what we're doing here. We have 2 incremental raises. We had a regressive tax with the dump enterprise fund, and people went crazy over $100. Now you're asking to double a sewer rate where people are going to be paying thousands more. In a flat regressive tax. Okay, now I don't have a problem with the ad valorem. I don't have a problem with that based on, and when I say that, I mean based on the value of the house. So we can raise rates for the ad valorem, but we're gonna have to, I think we should find a different way to make up that flat sewer tax. Now, as long as we come up with that money, we could do that in many different ways. We could come up with it through the general fund. The first couple of years, 1.2 million, 1.2 million. We could find a way, okay? I would like to approach this in a different manner.
We don't have to rush this tonight, but I want to make certain we understand what the rules are. And we just heard that we have to have a secured by revenue bonds, a revenue stream.
Sure.
And that's what the sewer rate is. Have you seen a sewer improvement? I don't know if this is your expertise in this regard, but financing utility improvements, water system, sewer system, can it be with the property tax, or does it have to be with the
Yeah,
rate
but-
tax?
So Westerly's a little unique in the sense that you do it two ways. You have both a flat fee and a tax. Most communities that I work across New England, I've been doing this for a long time, it's based on consumption. You don't have a consumption sewer tax. You have a flat tax, and then you have a flat fee, and then you have a tax. So you're a little different than some of the communities that I work with across New England.
Okay. So what's being proposed tonight is what
So,
is required by Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank.
correct. Again, you have to
Required means
demonstrate.
there's no other alternative.
No, that's wrong. It's wrong. There's no way you could
That's
tell me
why
that.
I'm asking the question, because we can go off and say there's a better way to do it, but
You're telling me that
It
they
was-
care how they get the $85 million back there. We have to raise the sewer flat tax to give them the $85 million back. Don't you think they'd be happy to get the $85 million back any way we can pay it to them?
I don't know what state law is that.
Well, I can tell you right now, that's,
Dylan, it's like taking out a loan. You have to provide certain
oh, we
information.
could provide it by raising our mill rate. We could provide it by adjusting our operating budget of $106 million.
You have to show the sewer enterprise fund can support it.
So you want to tell people in this town that we're going to raise a regressive tax over 100% on a regressive tax? That's what we're going to tell the people. What? So they went crazy when you gave them a $50 dump fee, Sean. Now you want to double their flat tax
I
in the sewer
understand,
rate?
but look at the comparison rates I passed you up.
I saw that, but it doesn't
Yeah, but
matter.
Then you're
It doesn't
dismissing it
matter.
totally, because we are the lowest in the state.
Well,
The lowest in the
Yeah,
state.
before we have this long argument, let other people ask the
Okay.
questions.
Suggest letting Steve finish his presentation on the rates. Let him go through the whole thing. You're probably better off, Steve, and then they can debate.
Do you have an additional?
So if you want to, we'll pivot to the second resolution. The second
Okay.
resolution is the proposed rate increase.
It's broached how we're going to pay 85 million, so let's put them together.
So you should have received two printouts. There's one that said ABT step 1 and one that said ABT step 2. So ABT is additional bonds test. When you issue bonds through this master trust indenture, as I mentioned, you have to get someone to certify that you have sufficient rates. So PFM has been engaged to certify that you have sufficient rates. So that's why we're here tonight. So based on our analysis of the system and based on your historic collection of revenues and tax for this system, this enterprise fund, if you see 27, for example, in fiscal 27, you'll see that the taxes, 30% of revenue is increased from 1.8 million in 26 to 2.9 million. The sewer charges increased from 3.3 to 4.4. Essentially, your revenues have to go up from 5.8 million to 8.8 million in order to service your operating expenses and your debt. At the bottom of that spreadsheet under 2007, you'll see the debt service is starting to come on for the new bond, and it's 1.5 million in year 1, 1.4 million, essentially the same, 2 years of interest only. And then in the third year, the full bond for 3.3 million comes on board. So when you issue 45 million, first 2 years interest only, third year it hits full. And then on the second page, we factor in the second bond issue of 40 million, and you'll see there'll be a further increase required for fiscal 29 through the next few years. Couple things I want to talk about. Interest rates, as I mentioned, we're a bit conservative on the rates. If this 45 million is issued, rates come in better, then that second rate increase 2 years from now will be lower. other things that could impact this. Your tax base goes up. There's a portion, this is obviously based on the tax. So if we assume no growth, we wanted to be conservative, both on the tax base. We assume no growth on additional revenues to the system. On the expense side, working with Sarah and her team, we've increased expenses to between 2.5% and 3%, depending on what the actual expenditure was. So we're conservative on revenue, conservative to the extent we're projecting increases in expenses to factor this all into the requirement of revenue and rates. And again, if these rates aren't in place, when you go to RIB to borrow, they will not approve the loan. The expectation is that RIB, if approved tonight or approved whenever it's approved, they'll take this to their monthly board meeting for approval. To date, they have not approved it yet until the rates are in place and this authorizing resolution, which was prepared by your bond counsel, until that authorizing resolution is passed.
Council Shalaba, you've been waiting quite a while.
So have we determined approximately how much it's going to cost each individual homeowner? And if there isn't an increase, what the percentage is actually will be? And also, would we be locking into a rate now or no?
Yeah, good question. So I'll take the last one. So the infrastructure bank, how they work, they're a leveraged loan program. They'll go out and sell bonds to fund loans to cities and towns. Their plan is to do this in April. So these are indicative rates that could change. And as I said, there's a little bit of cushion in there. Current rates 317, we're projecting 325. So they're just estimates of the rates.
And is any of it tied to our bond rating, if our bond rating drops or anything?
Good question. So these, as I mentioned, are revenue bonds, not GO bonds. The way the infrastructure bank prices their loans, it's based off your credit worthiness. However, because it's not a GO, what the infrastructure has to do is they have to go get what's called a private assessment of the town's credit. And it's an assessment simply of the sewer enterprise fund. And what the rating agencies look at, they're going to S&P. What they look at for a sewer enterprise fund is they look at number one, that trust indenture. What's that look like? What are the mechanics? What's the required debt service coverage, which is 125? Then they'll look at the historical operations of the sewer enterprise fund, and they'll also look at the projections. And those projections, obviously, one of the biggest components of what we're talking about today, the rate increases that are expected to support the debt. So right now, there's no assessment on the credit that's underway with the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank.
And are they looking at all the agencies, or are they just taking it from Moody's or just S&P or both?
They're looking at just S&P. It's
Just
cost
S&P.
effective just to go to one rating agency.
Okay.
That's where you have your highest on the GO side.
Yeah,
And they're on the utility side, they do a lot of this. And they also rate the infrastructure bank's bonds as well. As far as the impact on the residents, if you look at this spreadsheet on here, we just use like a $600,000 home value, for example. And you'll see that the existing tax or all-in cost is $5,024 as of 26. That is going to increase to $5,464. So if you look at big picture, the assessment, the one-time fee, plus the increase in your tax rate, they're going from $5,024 to $5,464. That's a 9% increase.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilor Vandover?
Okay, so basically we'll be paying all the interest in the first 2 years.
No, there's no principal in those. Once the bond, during construction, there's not a principal payment, so it's just interest only during those first 2 years. And then once the full debt service hits, it goes up to the 3 million. So essentially on the first 45 million, the estimated annual debt service is 3.3 million, fully amortizing. And on the second tranche of 40 million, it's just under 3 million. So it's approximately 6.2, 6.1 million of debt service once both bonds are issued and are fully amortizing. That's the estimated cost. And if you'll notice, half of the debt service, you'll notice, like, for example, in 27, 901,000 is half debt service general fund. And then in 28, it's slightly lower. The reason why it's lower is because that actually includes some of your existing sewer debt, which is a couple $100,000. That's why it then goes down in the second year. And then in the third year, you'll notice that the general fund support is 1.655, and the balance of the 3.3 is also 1,645,000.
Okay, and once we agree to do this, does the rate lock in? It's not adjustable, is it?
So as I was pointing out earlier, once Infrastructure Bank sells their bonds, the town locks in for the term of the loan. Yes,
They do
a
lock
variable
in.
rate. You lock in similar to all your general obligation bonds. The cities and towns in Rhode Island can't issue variable rate debt. So it's just fixed rate debt, plain
Good.
vanilla, correct?
Okay, thank you.
Well,
Thanks.
Chris, may I point out something for the fellow councilors?
No.
Just for you
We're
guys,
still
you're
asking-
getting,
we're
you're getting
still
mis-
asking
you're
questions.
getting misled by this
We're
gentleman.
still asking questions.
I just want to tell you, when he said it was only $440 raise, he's misleading us. By 2029, it's going to be $860. He doesn't go that extra 6 months. Very misleading to stop in 2 years. Once you get to 2029, that raise is going to be $860.
Yeah,
Please don't,
Councilor Peter,
this is not a smart group. You can't play these games.
Councilor Peter, please keep your,
yeah, when I said to you is,
Yep.
ABT step 1, and then ABT step 2.
Step 2 is coming pretty quick, correct? It's coming in a couple of years. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
That's all I want him to hear that, that's all.
can I ask, anyone else like to speak before I do? Councilor Niemeyer?
Just to kind of summarize, we're required by the EPA to take out this
You're on
this bond. Essentially, our best bet for getting this bond at a reasonable rate is the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank. This is what the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank is requiring us to do in order to get that bond issued. Is that it?
You're absolutely 100% correct.
Well, I suppose it was just nice to get out of the house. But yeah, it seems like this is what we got to do.
Anyone else like to speak?
And again, I just want to reiterate, through the Infrastructure Bank is your lowest cost of funds. You can't get lower funding for this type of project anywhere.
Councilor Yellow?
Yes, thank you. I have some questions. I have a couple for the manager after too, but I just want to make sure I heard correctly. Westerly doesn't use the consumption fee. It's just pretty much a flat rate. Okay. So did you say that during construction, repayments only interest only? It's not until the construction is complete that we get hit with the
Yeah,
principal?
if you look, the principal ramps up in year 3, 2029.
Okay, and it's projected to be a 2-year construction, Mr. Manager?
36-month construction.
36? Okay.
That's why the second staunch is going to come probably at 2 years. It could even be 3 depending on.
3, okay. And then that leads me to the next question. On the next 40 million, is there going to be another jump? Like we're jumping up and,
And
typically
that's what
400, how much?
Councilman was noting, if you look at the second page of the analysis, where it says step 2, this includes both. So at the end of the day, if you look at the 5-year period, the tax, for example, is going to go from 67 cents to $1.54, and the flat fee from 356 to 691. And as I said, tonight you're not approving going from the 356 to the 691. You're approving going from the 356 to the 552. When we're ready, when the town's ready to issue the second tranche, I'll be back here, tell you how we did on the first tranche, and then talk about what the need is for the second tranche.
Hopefully,
But these are
hopefully
projected.
the rates will be low because it is about an $800 jump on it. It is about $800 jump. So, I guess I should start saving, but, yeah, interesting. So, all right, let me get back on the resolution. I don't know if you have it in front of you on page 2 of it, in section 9. I think it's the first one. Yeah, approving the financing improvements up to 85. This is grammatically, I was trying to understand what you were saying. In section 9, the third line from the bottom in that paragraph, It says including seeking mandate or specific performance. Seeking mandate, is that correct, or is there some of the word missing, or
I'm sorry, so where are you, Councilman?
in paragraph section 9?
On the, three-page authorizing resolution, is that what you're looking at?
It's a two-pager. Two-pager.
Okay. Section 9, the authorized officers are authorized to take all
Right,
action.
authorize, the officers are authorized, right.
Yep.
So look at the third line from the bottom in that one.
And to execute and deliver continuing disclosure certificate?
Uh, It's the paragraph that begins, the authorized officers are authorized to take all actions necessary.
To comply with federal tax and securities laws.
Right, right.
Yep.
So that one.
Yep.
Down further in that paragraph, third line up from the bottom, comma, including seeking mandate or specific performance. And maybe I just don't understand if lingo here, but is
I
that?
don't see that in mine, to be honest. I don't know if. In connection with the bonds and notes in the format shall be deemed advisable. Commission, and then in parens, SEC rule. Yeah.
You're on section 9, right? FCC rule.
Oh, all right, I'm sorry.
Well, hold on, including seeking mandate specific.
Yeah, so this continuing disclosure is a requirement of your bonds. So your general obligation bonds, SARA is required every year. It's coming up March 3rd, 27th to provide continuing disclosure to basically anybody who's bought bonds. There's a municipal SEC website that you post the information on. What this section is saying is that you're going to comply with that and that you're going to provide continuing disclosure on your bonds, which is required by SEC and MSRB. What it's saying is, however, if you do fail to do that, it's not a default under your bond. You know, you tripped a covenant, but it's not a default. So that's why you're required to do this. Unfortunately, communities over the years fail to do it for whatever reason, staffing issues, but that's what it's saying. It's not an event of default if you do not do your annual file.
All right, and maybe this is just grammatics. I mean, it just.
And full disclosure, this was your bond counsel drafted
Bond
this.
counsel, okay. And well, maybe the solicitor or the manager can answer that. It just seemed awkward to me. I didn't understand what they were trying to say. Because however, any bondholder or note holder may take such actions as may be necessary and appropriate, including seeking mandate or specific performance. It just didn't seem to make sense to me.
Yeah, so
Maybe it's just the tense is better used.
while it's not a default, if you don't comply, a bondholder who owns your bonds can go back and say, hey, we want them to provide this information because you signed an agreement saying you will. So I think that's what the intent of that
Okay,
is.
as long as that's proper wording. All right, I mean, if legal wants to just double check that, I mean, again, I'm not the expert on it. It was just a question. It seemed weird to me, but thank you for that explanation. I think, yeah, I wish. My other question for the manager was going to be is roughly what percentage of this whole 85 million, up to 85, is driven by standard upgrades that we need to do versus the state mandate that for the levels that we have to achieve? Is it 50-50 or is it all driven by the level
It's all driven
levels?
it's all driven by the state. There's nothing. We
So
wouldn't
this-
be doing it. It's all
wouldn't be
100%
doing it.
driven by, this originally came in we cut things out of it at over 100 million. I mean, they had flood resiliency walls that we were able to take out because we argued the point. We've been back and forth with the state and DEM. We cut back a lot. This is the requirements that the state is requiring us to get us to the levels of the places in operation. So
I mean, I'm all for keeping our water clean and, you know, clean water and air and all that, but I mean, at what point is the state, and sure, you're not going to be able to answer this, but how on earth can the state mandate $85 million for this community and not offer a penny? We're getting a couple $1 million from the feds. Yeah, dropping a buck. I don't think that's going to even cover the interest. So, how on earth can that happen? And what would happen if the town said, not only no, but heck no, fund it 50% and we'll be happy to do it?
To be honest, I asked that question. What if we said no? And they told us that they would fine us daily and cease operation of the facility, and we'd have to come up with another plan.
Yeah, good luck with ceasing the operation. I mean, you're going to shut down the sewer for everybody in town?
We're gonna call that
So-
bluff. We're gonna call that bluff, Sean.
So I mean, that's part of me. I absolutely want clean water, you know, the river, everything. But the other half of me is we're sucking up. Now, we're fortunate, we have a pretty good tax base. But even with that, even the people who aren't in the sewer district are getting hit pretty decently with this. And the people in the sewer district are a lot more. So it's just another unfunded mandate. And part of me wrestles with it, and part of me wants to just tell them, chip in. But thank you, good presentation, and you helped explain a lot of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I wasn't going to speak, and then thank you.
Yep.
I know how hard your job is, and I do not envy being on the opposite side of this. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I greatly appreciate everything that you do for this town. And I also appreciate a good Excel file, so thank you. As far as the money goes, I think I have a firm understanding of it. I'm very lucky that in another part of my life, I am versed in RIB and I can kind of get my head around it, which I understand it's not easy, and it's just not. And swallowing the numbers is hard, but you're here to tell us the numbers, and I think, thank you. My question really is for the manager, if that's okay.
Sure.
When last year, around this time, the amount was 72 million. And then the amount, I want to say it was either 12 or 18 months previous to that, it was below 20. And I just want to kind of paint a picture of how we got here with mandates and with having to fight with them on things like a storm wall that we really didn't need. And did previous councils kind of pause on this and wait a little bit, or we're on the same path, right?
No, we're on the same path. It took 2 years to design.
Mhm.
So the projections originally, I believe, if you go back, Chris can probably remember, I think it was 15 to 20 million was the
Yeah.
original projection.
Yeah.
And then they started, keep in mind, we have equipment at this facility dated in the 60s.
Mhm.
And so as they went through the design and the mandates from, DEM and the regulations and so forth, it climbed up. It went to 40, it went to 50, and it went to 75, as you said just a year ago. It's out to bid right now. We're in hopes that it comes in at 85. We're hoping maybe it even comes in cheaper. But they did projections on every bid, all the vendors and everything. And they were originally at about 98.
Okay.
And then the flood resiliency wall, again, if you could do it, that's something, it's a $4 million wall.
Yeah.
Again, if you go back 100 years, we haven't had water surpass that wall. So we argued it to the point, this is a 500-year storm.
Yeah.
Which we had in 2010 and it didn't hit the threshold. So we argued and we were able to get that out of there. But these are true numbers now. The others were just projected numbers as we went through it. So there's nothing, unfortunately, this is what they're seeing, not just Westerly, this is nationwide with sewer treatment plants.
And I do want to, when I do talk to residents about this, obviously, like I said, it's very hard to swallow. But when the explanation of how we got here and what the situation is presented to them, they're like, oh, wait, okay, that makes sense. Nobody wants to spend the money, but I do want to take into consideration just how much just metal and wood and everything has increased. I mean, it's going to continue in the state that we're in right now. So everybody that is sitting here and is listening needs to know, like, this very well could change. And nobody wants it to. And maybe it will go lower. Maybe just everything will go great in this country and it won't be on fire and it'll all go lower. But right now, that's not what we're looking at. So I just want to be really open and honest and transparent where this is, if we stall on this, if we put any roadblocks up on this, we are looking at, I'm just gonna throw out over 100 million if we really decide to fight the state on this. So I think there's a lot of pros and cons there, but as much as it stinks, again, I appreciate you, Steve, for your work. Thanks for being in the finance world. It's a hellhole, to be quite honest with you, but thank you, and thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I think everyone's spoken. I'd like to just kind of recap where I've been in this. In 2018 to 2020, we were in negotiation with the DEM for a consent agreement to improve the nitrogen removal from the treatment plant. We were at 16 milligrams per liter, parts per million, if you will. Back then, the state wanted us to go to 3 parts per million, which is just about impossible. You would have to have twice the amount of land area, twice the amount of treatment tanks. We negotiated a 5 parts per million, and that's the highest that they would allow Westerly to go to. So because of those stringent standards, we're going to have a cleaner Pawcatuck River, cleaner Little Narragansett Bay. We're going to have more enjoyment of our environmental resources, but it comes with a big cost. And I know that tonight we're all in a denial stage that, why us? Why do we have to pay for this? Isn't it unreasonable? Well, yeah, it is unreasonable, but there's no other people that are going to step in. I like the idea that we had Senator Whitehouse helping us, or Senator Reed. We got some money. Maybe there could be some in the future. They certainly have an affinity to our town, Westerly. But the $85 million that we're at today, it was like Councilor Healy said, it was, 4 years ago, it was 25 million. And because of all the additional requirements the DEM has put forward with the consent agreement, that we're into this much more bigger redesign and improvements. So 85 million. When can we delay it to? Our consent agreement is as soon as it's permitted, has to be 2026. Breaking it into two steps, 45 and 40. I mean, I don't know how you do that, but if we can fund it that way, it's.
Yeah, it's just the anticipation and the schedule and when payments, as we're going to spend the money through construction, that's the anticipated breakdown of it. There's no sense taking it all at once. We don't need it, and you're paying back the interest on it if you take it all and they sell all the bonds.
It's a real clever way. I mean, the
Yeah.
school building projects didn't have that. They took 50 million and using every penny of it.
And they may have had to because of ride regulation. I'm not sure, but.
There's that, and they had a pretty tight schedule in order to improve it while kids were in the school. I don't want to divert to that, but so that I think is a good way to help some of the ratepayers. But the jump from 356, what is today, to 552. That's in this chart here. Is this based on plants, municipal wastewater treatment plants that are in conformance with the new?
These are all the plants within the state, and I'm told there's 50% of them under the same stuff we're dealing with.
Yeah, I know some of them were rebuilt recently, West Warwick perhaps, but I don't know if all of them are in compliance. So I would
They're not.
question.
This is all the plants in the state, as some of the towns use neighboring facilities, which is,
So they might be under consent agreements as well to improve. So Westerly falling less than the average or below, yeah, you know, after we increase it. And then the final increase to, what is it, 691? So that's $335. It's doubling the amount of fees that we're paying today, just about. But it's still less than what some of these other municipalities have to.
Chris, you're involved with all the septic and all that stuff, clean water. Are any of these state levels, are they driven by the feds at all, or is it strictly state?
EPA is certainly behind DEM and all the requirements. They look at the ecosystem, the health of a water body, the Pawcatuck River, the bay.
the EPA is directly involved in this whole plan. They've been involved the whole time.
That's, we don't have an option. We're already in a consent agreement. We're already on a timetable. The 85 million, hopefully the bids come under that. We'll find out shortly. But it's, you know, for people that aren't aware that we are going out to bid with all these equipment. It's not just given to one. Okay. So, yeah, if we try to deny it, fines, they're not bashful about, DM's not gonna give us a pass. They're going to fine us. They did allow us to pick up the infrastructure above the floodplain instead of building a $4 million or $8 million seawall around it. So that's what our manager Lacey got passed for us. So I'm all for letting this sink in if that's what we need tonight, or letting the public hear this more. But we are we don't have a lot of options. We're out to bid now.
I think the drop dead, they're looking to get back to the bank. The drop dead date is like now.
So as I
look-
mentioned, RIB is meeting the 23rd. I think it's February 23rd. It's third Monday of the month they typically meet. So they won't bring this to their board until the town has approved the authorizing resolution. So when is your next meeting after this?
It's
Sorry.
Monday.
Oh,
Next
it's Monday.
Monday, the 9th. It's because we had to cancel last
It's
week.
good we have 2 weeks before an $85 million decision. That's
I just would like to ask one or two more questions if I could, if that's okay. Steve, so why can't we do this as a construction loan where as the work gets done, then we pay? That way we're not paying interest on money that we don't, that's just sitting there.
Yeah, it is. Actually, that's how the infrastructure bank works. So it's a drawdown loan. So what'll happen is the 45 million they set aside and you only stop paying interest as you start drawing that money down. So that's how it works.
Okay, so it is a construction loan. Okay.
Yeah.
And the one,
It is a bond, but it has the feature of a drawdown bond.
okay, that makes me feel a little better. So also, I just curious, getting back to that interest, having the interest paid first, is that why the bank wants us to increase our fees so they're guaranteed to get paid? Is that basically it in a nutshell?
Yeah, I mean, it's common with any revenue bond.
Yeah.
Whether you're a utility, you're a university, you're a hospital. Whenever you issue a revenue bond, you have a trust indenture. And there's always a rate covenant. And again, the rate covenant is to protect the bondholder. They want to make sure that there's.
They make their money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm.
And again, the difference is, as you know, general obligation, full faith and credit. If you don't pay your GO bonds, you can be forced to raise taxes, ad valorem taxes, to pay the debt service on the bond. With the revenue bond, they can't force you to, raise taxes. So why the indenture has that is that you're going to covenant that you're going to raise rates sufficient to.
Right, so that the bank gets paid
Exactly.
first, no matter what. Bank's not your friend, people. I mean, in my business, I'm an appraiser. It's the same thing. Bank is not your friend. They're in it to make money. So no offense to you. No disrespect. It's a business. I get it. I just had, Mr. President, I just wanted to say the state put us in this position. Don't thank them. All of their requirements are what's putting us in the position that we are. And also on the fees, we have lesser fees because we're a smaller town. They're getting compared here to South Kingston, Woonsocket, West Warwick, Smithfield. These are all bigger towns than we are. So yeah, we should be paying less. And the last thing that I wanted to ask was, can I address the town manager, Mr. President?
Sure.
And did we put aside any funds at all for this project at all? And if we didn't, are we going to in the future?
We did not, but we do have a fund balance on the sewer side. But they weren't having a savings account to put money aside anticipating this project was coming up. And it has been discussed and talked about back to 2018, I believe. So you're going on 8 years and there was no money put aside.
So in that amount of time, nothing was put aside knowing this was coming.
And
Jeepers
I
creepers.
just want to clarify, a lot of these.
We didn't raise our rates either,
Yeah, a
so
lot-
I understand.
Yeah, the problem is.
I understand.
The rates.
we could have raised the rates in anticipation.
A lot of these communities are very similar to the size of Westerly. I mean, Narragansett is 603. They're probably comparable size to Westerly. If you look at the rates on that. East Providence, I mean, it's more of a city, but it's probably population around the size, and they're 630.
Some yes, some no, but I mean, look at Middletown and Jamestown. Those are bigger cities. Newport, that's a lot of money.
Size of Westerly.
Yeah, in comparison, that was my point, but, yeah, we're gonna get a double increase for the first 42.5, and then we're gonna get another increase for the next 42.5, if I'm correct. So it's not gonna end at 552. It's gonna be
681.
681, and then it's gonna go up again in 2
No,
years.
that's it.
That's it for the whole 85 mil.
20-year term loan. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, at the end of 20 years, you might have another project that comes due. I don't know if,
Well-
I mean, the second example I gave everyone was the ad valorem tax. It shows you how that's fluctuated over the years, how it's gone up and down depending on projects.
I think you missed me. I didn't get that. I didn't get the papers.
Yeah, you did.
I don't have it.
I gave you that.
You gave me this one.
I gave you 2
Yeah.
pages, no?
I didn't get the other.
There's nothing stapled to that?
Yeah, I didn't get this one.
Oh, it wasn't by
That's
design.
online.
I'm not allowed.
No,
Okay.
this one. The ad valorem tax on the second page.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, I just would hope that in the future, seeing as how we are coming into budget season, we do something about this, because this shouldn't
Understand,
happen.
but when we're paying this kind of debt, there really isn't much left.
No,
over
I
to
understand.
save.
I'm just saying for future endeavors, we should be a little more prepared for something like this, because people are not going to be happy. Thank you, though. I appreciate your answers, and thank you, Steve, for coming out.
Thank you. Councilor Peach has been waiting.
Pat, give me 5 minutes here, so I'm not accused of going over my time, because I got to talk about this a little bit. Please, time me. I want to be timed. Please. Thank you, Pat, please. All right. So I just want to start with one thing, so people could realize some of how much we're going to be paying here. We're looking at some of these numbers. 691 for a flat fee by 2029. That's a 1-unit house. Okay, so if you have a 3-family house, your flat fee alone, your regressive tax, and to explain what a regressive tax has nothing to do with the value of your home. That's just something everybody pays. It attacks the lower income people. I know Alex doesn't like regressive taxes. We've talked about it before. Your regressive tax alone would be $2,073 on a 3-family house, okay? People think that I didn't like the school committee, or I don't like teachers. We knew this was coming. So every year when we overfund the school committee by millions of dollars, this is what we end up with. Okay, now we have to scramble and come up with this kind of money in 2 weeks. This is lazy accounting. We did a lazy job here of planning for this, but we could still get out of it, okay? Now, let me tell you how we're gonna do this. The ad valorem tax is fair. It's based on the value of your home. The flat rate tax, totally unfair. And if you think for a second that you're gonna bring in, and I'll just use the names of Frank DeCaro, or Joe Luzzi, or Bob Taco, and you're gonna increase their sewer bill $60,000 a piece, and that's not an exaggeration. That is not one penny exaggerated. They're not gonna pay that. They're gonna pass it along to the Alexander Healy's of the world, that all these people who rent this town, our rents are going up. Okay, our rents are going way up. So I hope that people realize that it always passes down, and the way to get rid of this is to pay the ad valorem tax, but we have to find a different way to fund this flat tax rate, this increase. And the way we do it is a few different ways. First of all, Sean, we do have a surplus account for the town. I believe it's about $30 million, correct? That's a town surplus, okay? What's the town surplus for? Now, this is doomsday now. This is what you're telling people that their sewer rate is going up and they're paying $800, $1,500, $2,000 more a year in a sewer tax. A lot of people aren't gonna be able to afford that. So we're overfunding the school committee by millions of dollars. We have a surplus in the town side. Now, we have to get away from this lazy solution of just raising taxes, and we have to start taking our jobs with the budget seriously. We can find this money. All we have to do is find the money for the flat tax. A couple million, maybe 1.2 million for the first couple of years, 3 million. We give that away in the school surplus every year. Every year we give that away in the school surplus. We don't need to raise all these people's taxes. We can fix this. We just got to do a good job with the budget. And I hope you guys see this. So there's no way we should approve this. We should go back to the drawing board and figure out how to fund that flat sewer tax rate, that regressive tax that people went crazy about for $50. And now you're going to tell them it's $1,000, and you think that the podium, hell, you guys wilted when Dave Patton here said he didn't want to look at a tower. How about when we tell them everybody in town is going to have their sewer tax go up $1,000? Do you want to have that in there? Because I don't know where everybody is. I just don't know where everybody is right now. But I hope they come here for the next meeting.
Going to 500, not 1,000.
Yeah.
And by 2029, by
Goes to
2029, a regular one-family house, 758, will go to 1618. Okay, we're going up 100% here, Sean.
It's going up $200, right?
$200. It goes from 356 to 552 to 691 per unit. Per unit.
691, yeah.
Okay.
It's not
That's a
$300
that's a $335 increase per
Count
unit.
it. You might as well give the right numbers.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to tell you right now.
The tax is a
I-
professional.
$356. Okay, I'm not a clerk at the finance department answering the phones like Alex Healy, but let me explain this.
Be a little bit more respectful
All right.
of our colleagues.
Our annual flat rate right now per family, $356, right? What is it in 2020? I'll let you guys answer it because I don't think this council understands this. What do you think it would be in 2029?
What's presented here
691.
is
$691. How much of an increase is that? $356. How much is it?
$335.
Almost 100% increase, isn't it?
That's what
Almost. Okay. So
It's not 800. It's not an $800 increase.
that's just the flat tax, Chris. That's just the flat tax. That doesn't even take into account the ad valorem. With the ad valorem, it's an $800 increase.
Volume shared across the town.
Okay.
At 1.0.
And I'll leave that alone. I'll leave that alone.
The average statewide is 814 right now.
Sean, we don't even know how, he just said that not every town does it the same way. Some towns do it by consumption.
If we
Okay.
went by consumption, they'd be paying an average right now of over $600.
So we want to have a 95% regressive tax increase.
It's, again, if you compare what the rates are statewide, that's still.
Is
below
it
the-
apples to apples? Is that chart apples to apples? Because some of it is based on consumption.
Thank you, Pat, for allowing the.
Okay. All I'm
Let's
saying
move on
is,
to other comments.
okay. So we're just,
So
we're not going to discuss this in the budget. We're going to just raise taxes 100%.
We have other people that are allowed to speak for 5 minutes.
There's a lot I wanted to
Counselor Healy?
respond to, but I'm not going to because I have class. So something that's being talked about is saying that what you said was wrong about Democratic people. We got 630 from White House. Is that correct? It's at the end of our agenda.
At the end of the agenda, you got about 1.85 million from one allotment and then 660,000. I'll go through it at the.
No problem. I just want to make sure that I'm saying that out loud for the people that are saying that that's not true. You want to mess around with the taxes, let's go by property value. Go by property value. We'll go above Taylor Swift tax. If your property is more than $2 million, we're going to up your taxes. Is that what you want to do?
Ad valorem tax, it doesn't matter if it's over $1 million or 2 million, you just go by the assessed value of the house. It's a top line here, the ad valorem tax.
I
Whatever-
understand what it
okay.
is. I'm making sure that you understand that the way that you're saying this, instead of raising straight taxes across is creating multi-level tax bases and making sure that those that make the most or own the highest value of property are taxed the most, and those that are not are taxed at the lower amount. That is how we're going to get revenue.
That's what we do now on property taxes for your house. That's how houses are assessed to the value and you
You're-
tax.
You're not. Higher, go higher. Go higher. So if you're saying that somebody lives in a $10 million house or their property is assessed at $18 million, they pay along the same lines as somebody with a $500,000 assessed value.
Well, no, the ad valorem makes
valorem.
more of it.
Yeah, the Apple one is based on assess.
It's enough to offset. I mean, if we're talking about cutting our school budget, where, instead of cutting our school budget, where else can we find this? Like, that can't be the only thing that's thrown out tonight. So
I'm not entertaining that.
I totally, and but I feel like
That's the easy
it's
fix.
responsibility as, as a counselor that knows how many families are here. I mean, come on, come on. So it's terrible. We're going into budget season. Let's see where we can cut, where we can't. Our taxes are gonna go up. Our council is going to be known for the council that raised taxes. All of us need to suck that up, and we knew that
We can
a
fix
year
that.
ago.
We can fix that.
Not with what we're looking at, not with.
That's because you're just looking at what the numbers presented to you. You're not finding a
that's what
solution.
we're looking at.
Well, you have
Point
to
of order,
find a
Mr.
solution.
President.
Yeah,
We're
point of
getting
order.
into discussion.
Let's have one council speak at a time.
I will yield the floor.
I think the point being made is, are there alternatives to the user flat fee and move it over to the ad valorem side? I'll ask Mr. Maserati, is that within?
That's not what I asked.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Is that possible?
So
Much.
the analysis you have in front of you is based on what you've historically done, which you've historically done approximately 70% from the flat fee, 30% from the tax. If
70-30?
if there's desire to change that, then that's this governing board. I don't make policy. We don't advise on policy, but certainly if you come up with another way to generate $6 million in revenue to support the debt service.
See, okay, now, once, Chris.
So let me just make certain that you mentioned earlier that you had to have the user rate. You couldn't just raise it up.
Oh, this analysis is a combination of tax. You'll see on the first line, the tax again goes from 67 cents to the 108 and the use fee. So it's a combination of increases in tax and that one-time charge.
But just so I'm clear, maybe the council as well, it has to be secured by revenue.
Revenue of the system. So whether that's tax revenue or sewer one-time charges, revenue is revenue. Whatever revenue comes in to support that sewer enterprise fund is captured to support the bonds.
Is there a limit or is there a floor on what that revenue?
It has to be 125% of debt service. So what happens every year is you generate, and that's why you'll see on the bottom line, minimum of 125 coverage. You have to generate 25% coverage on the revenue bonds. And it actually goes to a point that someone had talked about as far as building up reserves and deferred maintenance. What a lot of my clients use that 25% coverage is rolling to the next year to go for one-time capital. So this system is going to need, CapEx, and that 25% coverage, if it's managed properly, could go to raise fund balance in the sewer enterprise fund over time, so that when there is an emergency or there is a need for some capital, you'll have some reserves built up. So one of the benefits of generating that coverage is to provide some flexibility to the enterprise fund.
Okay. Council Scalaba?
Actually, for the town manager, please. What is our time frame on having to get this done? I know it's 2026, but what's our frame? Because you've mentioned there could be potential, penalties and stuff like that if we don't do things the right way.
It's supposed to be fall of 2025, we were supposed to start.
Okay.
So now it's to the spring of 2026. We're beyond the limit at this point, so. But no fault of ours. There's issues with equipment, the bidding and so forth, which is why it was delayed till the spring.
And have we figured out anything as far as the longer we wait, the more it's going to cost?
They've made that very clear. The longer you wait, the cost is going up because of cost. No.
Thank you.
Sure. Counselor Niemeyer.
So I'm actually going to direct this question to Ms. Hassel, who I see in the audience, if that's okay. It's not a request I'm making right now. I'm just trying to gauge whether or not something would be possible. Would it be possible between now and our meeting on Monday to figure out what kind of ad valorem tax we would have to impose in order to replace the flat element of this current tax rate in order to reach that 125% that the gentleman described?
May I stop everybody right now? That's not what I propose.
That's not what you propose.
No, no.
Okay.
The other revenue that, and we haven't touched on this, and I was hoping you would let everybody know, another revenue source would be general fund transfer in. Am I correct?
Yep, that's already in the analysis.
That's what I want to use. I want to increase that. I don't want to increase the ad valorem tax. I think that's fine. My idea was to leave the ad valorem tax exactly where it is, but to find a way to supplement that flat sewer tax. And the way I would do that in a roundabout way, but it would have to eventually come back to general fund transfer in. And that's us finding the money in other areas and transferring it into enterprise fund. So the ad valorem tax, I'm not looking to move it up at all. I think from 0.67 to 1.54 is good enough. Okay, but I want to get rid of the flat sewer tax and I want to find that from other sources on our budget and then transfer it in, which is revenue, which would still meet the requirement.
You know, the levy can't increase 4%, well, unless you want to go to the State House and ask.
That's
for an
fine.
increase.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about increase of 4%, but this, I know has nothing to do with this, but
And
listen.
You're not proposing getting rid of the flat tax by.
No, I'm
But-
just saying, let's not move it up so much. I mean, even if we got to go from 356 to 400 to maybe 450, but if we're going from 356 to 691, is just way too much for people.
But you did want to leave it in place.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting rid of it. No, I'm not. I want to leave it in place. Maybe move it up a tad. Maybe, instead of moving up 100%, maybe we move it up 20%. And where we find the extra money is from general fund transfer in. So we still meet the requirements of qualifying for the revenue bond like this gentleman is asking us to do. Leave the ad valorem alone, but I just don't want to jack up. I think it's too much of an increase for that regressive, I'm going to say it again, for that regressive tax, flat sewer rate. And that's what I'm looking to do.
If we push this out a week or
I would love
maybe two, would you be able to come up with some specific?
I could. I absolutely could.
It would have to be through the town, the manager. It can't be just one.
I just
council
want to
that-
comment that you can't pass all the debt onto the general fund side. You're passing it out to 100% of the residents. These
Why
sewer-
do we have to keep, well, you're still thinking inside a little box here. We can find, we're not passing the debt on, we're finding it from places that we overfund.
That's
We're doing a better
general
job.
fund- that's
Okay,
general
but
fund
but
money.
we're not increasing, if we have $106 million and we give $1 million less to the school, or 300,000 less to this, or 300,000 less to that, we can find the money in other places. We got to do a better job with the budget, and then we take that money, and then we move it back into
But
the,
that's still general fund
Okay.
money. You're dumping 50% of it already goes to the general side that don't have sewer. You're gonna stack that up higher?
well, Sean, I mean,
What do you mean? What are you gonna do? Change the ratio then. If you want 50-50, change it to 75-25.
we could change it to 60-40. I would be in favor of changing it 40% in the sewer. The enterprise fund is really part of the general fund anyway, let's be honest. We break them all off so we can see it. We have a better picture of it. But I would go to 60-40. I absolutely would do that. I have no problem with that.
It sounds reasonable what you're suggesting, but there's a whole budget that's coming. And what does that increase right now? 2%?
Well, we try to keep it at 2%, right? I
So
mean,
now
that's-
we're going to go to the max 4%.
Or we could take the money, transfer it in from
The
our,
people gonna get hit with this one way or the other.
we have a $30 million surplus. What if we take $1 million a year from that surplus and
It's
transfer
30
it into
million
the enterprise
isn't
fund?
unaccounted for. It's more like 10, 15, 6. What is the unencumbered surplus?
Our uncovered surplus,
Is it 30 million?
it's gonna probably be up around.
Okay,
30.
so what if we take $1 million a year from that surplus and transfer it into the enterprise fund? They offset their flat sewer.
Money, the sewer
Listen,
users should
right,
be paying
then-
their portion of the debt.
Then I'll bring in some people and you tell them that we're gonna raise their sewer tax 60 grand, 70 grand, 80 grand. We'll fill this auditorium in
That's,
2 weeks.
where are they then?
Well, because nobody knows what's going on in this town,
But it's
unfortunately.
not going to be for 3 years. We're looking at it in 3 years,
It's
first
gonna go
off.
up quite a bit in a few
And we're
years.
looking at it in the second step. We're talking about doing first steps right now. We're already jumping the line where we could talk about the second steps when we're doing the budget season.
I-
And this is again the 691 that we're talking about is going to happen in 2029, not 2026.
I disagree, Mary. We are already in this boat because we keep pushing stuff down the road. We need to deal with this now.
We are,
Not
gonna-
in 3 years,
we are-
now.
we are going to deal with this now, but what I'm saying is we still have to work on the first step first and not just jump to the second step. And we can talk about the second step as we go through the budget in 2 months.
So we're looking for different alternatives, different revenue sharing. 70 to 30 isn't. If there's room in there to go to another, I rely on you, Mr. Manager, to look at different. You're funding all the sewer bond within the structure of the enterprise fund. So if you go beyond that, I
No,
don't.
no, it's 50-50. It's not funded. It's funded 50% with the general fund, 50% with the sewer enterprise fund.
Yeah.
It's not funded all in the enterprise fund by any means. 50-50.
Mr. President,
Yes, Counselor Aiello.
yeah, two things. One is my understanding of what people were saying is this first round is pretty much okay with folks. But it's that second jump in a few years where he's gonna have to come back anyway. And I'm not going into a debate right now, Dylan. I'm speaking, I'm trying to interpret what everybody has said and understand this. So it seems like people, none of us are happy with with the dollar signs, none of us. So granted. And for the record, our hands are tied. We have to do something. So my understanding from what people are saying, this first round, we can live with. We're not happy with it, but we can live with the first round. It's from what people were saying, from what I understood you were saying, is that I'm not going back and forth right now. I'm just speaking. I let people speak. Now it's my turn.
60% increase.
It's my
first
turn
round.
now, Dylan, please. So it's a second jump. None of us like that either, right? And so, and Councilor Salaba did make a good point, is that that's going to be coming back. That's going to be coming up. It's not something that this council is actually going to be addressing. We have to keep it in mind and hopefully figure out something. It is a 50-50 split. I tried to go with a 60-40, 65-35, but there wasn't a majority support for it. So
You got it the wrong way. I want to go
Yeah,
60-40 the other way.
Dylan, I know. Yeah, so we're not going to make it worse for the entire town. Let's figure out how we can make it better for the sewer district without increasing taxes on the entire town that doesn't even enjoy the public sewer system. And when it comes time to replace our septic systems, we're talking 20, 25 grand. You know, it could be more if you have to use the denotification system. So let's just keep that in mind too. So we're paying outside of the district, we're paying for this. It's a big price tag. So, you know, I'm happy to help. But keep in mind that we also have to replace our septic systems. And nobody in the district and nobody else around town is helping us homeowners put those septic systems in. So keep that in mind too. But let's figure out a way in the future to maybe come up with a different formula, do something. I agree that we need to try and figure out something. Let's get some creative minds going. And I do want to mention something that previous councils didn't drop the ball on this, and there was a lot. We were initially talking 15, 20 grand, maybe 25. And then one year it was like 45, give or take 30 or 40 grand, million. So again, there was a whole wide range. So it's gone through some iterations and there's been a lot of discussions about it. And there were a lot of other issues that were being handled at the time too from different councils. And of course, we had the pandemic too, so things were tight during that time. And I think the council's done best they can. I know the managers have worked. I know Chris has worked on this one. He's been on the council before too. But I wanted to make one other point is that the manager did, I don't know if Sean was the first one or if it was the previous manager that initially talked, but we were going to try and get Jacobs to fund it and we were going to pay them back. That was you?
They were at 10%.
They were at 10%.
The bank's at 3 point something, so it did, that
So
was,
it's-
yeah.
So it's been worked. I mean, the different funding mechanisms have been looked at, but hopefully we can come up with something that doesn't hurt people so much. I mean, it's bad enough that, mine's going another 400 a year and then a few more years down the road, it's going to go up another 400. According to this, it would.
No, yours isn't going up a penny. You're not in the sewer district.
The other 50% that we're paying. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm paying. So that's what I and others who live outside the district. So that's all going up. And so hopefully we can come up with something that works on this, but I mean, our hands are tied and we either have a meeting next week. It's a holiday the next week. So it's either going to be the 9th or
23rd is.
23rd. And I'm not sure if the 23rd is too late.
Plan to go before the bank by the end of, by 23rd, I believe you said, Steve, in February.
The bank is meeting at 3 o'clock on the 23rd.
So that's too late for us. So we have to do it next week.
Well, Manager Lacy, you've heard some of the discussion, some of the options. I'm willing to listen to you and your advice on this. I also have doubt that this can fall within the constraints of the tax levy, the 4% increase.
This has nothing to do with that. I don't
Well,
think.
if it's going to be transferred from the general fund, then it does have everything to do with it.
But it's less than 1% the first 3 years, the first 2 years.
4% of 100 million is 4 million, so it's going to fall within the restraints, Chris.
Yeah, so
But I'm not even asking to do it all from the general fund. I mean, you want to give me a crack at this? I'd like to have-
If the whole increase were to go to that, that's.
No, we're not going to do the whole
If
increase.
there is an
Yeah.
increase already, 2.5%, I don't know what it is, then you've got less than that. You get 2 million, you get
Then
1.5 million.
I'll be within. I'll
Mr.
stay
President, I
out-
suggested, Mr. President, is if any counselors have a suggestion on how to do this, maybe send it to the manager and
Yeah, it
and
has
let
to
them
be
work
vetted
on
through the
it.
manager.
Yeah, so-
Can't just become
And then
in front of this,
we don't need to
last
sit
minute
here and,
vote.
we can't sit here tonight and debate all this whole thing.
I
It'll
think,
come back.
we're in this denial that these numbers are too much. Let's see if there's any other method. I hate to put it on you with such a blank slate, open question.
My only comment is I don't care how you slice it, you're paying back the same money. I
Yep.
don't care who you're dumping the debt on, how you're splitting it up. If you're trying to relieve it to someone else, it's the same money. I don't care which way you slice it. That's it in a nutshell. There's nothing wrong with the presentation was before you tonight. That's the way the system is set up now. Like you explained, Bill, if you go with the first allotment, because everyone seems to, okay, you can, then you have 2 years to work on redeveloping how you're coming up with the second group of the money. Right? If you want to work on it some other way other than as outlined, because you're not committing to that. You're committing to the first one only. So that's an option. I don't care who you get the money from. I mean, like you said, don't give you, it's still the same money. You're cutting it
And
from somewhere else.
my response would be a $106 million budget, and we've rubber stamped a lot of things over the years, is we have to tighten our belt. I'm not asking to get the money out of thin air. I'm asking to say, what are we overspending on in $106 million? And it's time for the first time as councilors, we take the budget seriously. And this is why I voted no in the budget last year, because I knew this was coming. I voted no because we overfunded something like the school committee. That's a $10 million surplus. They're not even within their own ordinances as far as how much money they have in there. And we better tighten the belt, and we better do it this budget season.
Mr. President, you want a motion to move this to the next meeting?
Yeah, please.
So moved.
Motion to continue. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Council Vandover. Discussion? All in
Yes,
favor?
yes,
Discussion?
is this going to be B and C?
Yes.
Bill and C.
The rate amount and the 85 million,
Yeah,
yes,
on the agenda item.
the 8B and 8C.
Yeah, I just want to clarify, you're asking to
So
A,
that-
B, and C.
That motion included 8, B, and C. Thank you,
Thank
Mary.
you.
You second it, Council Vandover?
Yes, I'll second that.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 8B and C are now continued.
Thank you, sir.
Not everyone.
Chris, if I could just make a comment, I have to defend the staff and the budget to some extent. I get highly offended because I don't think we're foolishly spending money. I have kept the budget below 2% all of my years as manager. And we have been very conservative on how we've come up with surpluses each year. And we certainly, the staff and myself take, pride in that for the town. We take it very responsible on it. We're not spending money foolishly by any means, so.
I would have to agree. I've been on the council for 19 years and each year we fight over every single penny of the dollar. Brian McEwen, he wouldn't even pay for work boots so.
I think this just hits home because it's hitting people's pockets a little more than normal, a lot more than normal. It was.
Yeah, and there's not the public input because it's an obligation that DEM has put on the town of Westerly. It's not something that you can do less work or do it at a different time.
There'll be public input when they start getting their sewer bills.
Please have them come. Please have them come, because everybody should recognize what we're up against. I'm going to move on to item 8D. Proposed ordinance and ordinance establishing a general business registration requirement for all businesses in the town of Westerly entitled Business Registration. This is for order advertised for a public hearing on 23rd. Thank you.
It does say the 9th, but that doesn't give me enough time to advertise now that this meeting was continued to tonight.
I can just give a brief overview if you want, Chris. This is just we currently do the same thing now. Unfortunately, there's a fee involved that was taken over by the state. The state took the fee and took over the business, the naming of the businesses. So this is just to keep, because we have to keep our, the registration of the businesses in order. So this is just an ordinance to mirror what we've been doing, and the fee is $25, so.
With that discussion,
Was our fee $25 before as well?
$10
All right.
before, but it's been $10 for the last
All right, so we went up once again. Okay, so
revenue. Del.
I sure. I just want to make a comment on the small business community in Rhode Island, all right? And we seem to be jumping on board. We just hammer small businesses. Now I'm going to give you 5 bodies I looked up today. American Legislative Exchange Council has Rhode Island small business now. We're 48th out of 50 states. Tax Foundation has its 45th out of 50. Forbes 49th. Wallet Hub dead last. NBC dead last. So here we are again, hammering small businesses, and here's another $25 fee. Here's another requirement. Put the stuff in your office. When is Rhode Island going to try to at least appear to be business friendly? I mean, give these guys a break at
You
some
only
point.
pay this once.
Okay.
I mean,
It
it's
used to
one
be
time.
10. It used to be 10. So once again, what is that? 150% increase? But since we're talking about increases today.
point well taken. Any other comments?
Mr. Manager, is this just for new businesses or everybody?
New businesses, yeah.
Just new
People that
business.
are already registered are registered. You're registered, but it's.
Okay,
anything-
and they paid the $10. It's just going forward, 25. Thank you.
Does the council set this rate or is it?
You can set it. No, you can set it.
Okay.
We're proposing it at that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to advertise for public hearing?
So moved.
Could I motion to lower the fee a little? I'll wait for the hearing. That's fine.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Niemeyer, second by Counselor Shalaba. To order advertise for public hearing, discussion
And I'll clarify, that's for the 23rd, not the 9th.
for February 23rd, yes.
Yeah.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ordinance is approved for advertising. Next, 8E, proposed ordinance and ordinance and amendment of Article 1, qualifications and employment of Chapter 45 of the Code of Ordinances entitled Police Department, or to advertise for public hearing on February 23rd. Mr. Manager?
Yeah, this is being proposed to be changed because this is the process we've been using for the current process you're looking at is what we've been using for the last 6 years. It's a standardized statewide process now, where we used to individually do our own test, individually do our own agility. Now it's a state testing process for all the departments in the state. It's a state agility for all the departments in the state, and then we interview individually. We pull people off of the pool from the state, and that's how we interview. So every department in the state is participating in this. We're adjusting the ordinance just to what we're currently doing and have been doing for the past 6 years. We also took out the 60 college credits, which were put in probably back in 05 or 06. I was involved in putting that in. As we're encouraging some of the workforce to get involved, and we're finding this is nationally, this is not just Westerly, by putting the certain requirements in, because the reason the military's in there, because you either have the military or the 60 college credits, it was equivalent to go back to just a high school diploma, and then they can go through the process, and we weed them out through an interview process. It allows more people to apply for the position and gives us more opportunity for applicants. So.
Can I ask him a question,
Yes.
please? You answered some of them, so I appreciate that. I have, on the bottom of page 1, notification. It ends at least 30 days. Was it supposed to be something that follows that? Period. So get rid of that.
Testing process is ongoing. They give it every single month statewide, so it's an ongoing rotated list.
All right, so to clear, he's
So it's
striking through
least
at
30
least
days.
30 days, strike through that. So it ends at Town of Westerly website. And is there a way to put in here somewhere that the town is following a state standards on this, or state process?
I can take a look. I don't know. We're mirroring what some other departments are doing. Everyone in the state is doing it. I mean, it's not a mandated statewide procedure. I mean, I guess it could go back, or I don't think it will, because everyone's in the same boat trying to attract applicants.
Just something to indicate that you follow the state, something along those lines, but I don't know, if you can. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions on the proposed ordinance? Hearing none, I have a motion to order advertise for
So moved.
February 23rd.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Yellow. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor to advertise?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Or 8E is approved for advertisement. 8F, 328 Atlantic Avenue property, plat 166, lot 19. Refer to the Economic Development Commission and the Board of Recreation for review and recommendation, discussion and possible action. This is something that I suggested, given that the town has just purchased this property with 2 apartments, 1 commercial space, both for rental, potential for parking rental. I thought it'd be a good idea to get our committees to give advice to the town council, to the town manager, on possible uses, certainly from a recreational point of view, possible uses And secondly, possible means to rent it. Should it be let out as per season, or should it be rented by the week as short-term rentals are normally done? So I thought it'd be a good idea for the council to get that advice. Councilor Aiello?
Yeah, has the property been inspected? Building, is it okay? Does it meet code in every way?
Yeah, it meets code. The matter of fact, there's power, water. If you look at the two maps, just if anyone's wondering which one, it's the number 324 on those two maps, if you look at the 324. So it basically is commercial space on the first floor. It can be one big unit, it can be multiple units, and there's two apartments on the second floor, left-hand side of that picture, but it was rented right up until the time when we purchased it. So
And then my next question would be, do we really need to involve two committees that have to follow the Open Meetings Act? Or does the manager really want them involved? Or can they do this with staff and the rec department? Or whoever else?
I have no problem with it. I can get some ideas, and I mean, ultimately, I think it would have to be, we would have to put out a bid for a realtor to come in and say, okay, list the property. It would have to come back before you, and then, you know, whether we do it for multiple, but there's nothing wrong. I mean, I'm in favor of it going to, I don't know if it has to go to the recreation board because it's not, but it can certainly go to economic development, see what, get some ideas.
Well, I mean, it involves the beach area and it could be beach activities and they have authority over the kind of hand in hand with the rec department and rec board, but they are responsible for all the beach activities as well.
Right, I'm referring just to building. If you're
Yeah,
referring to the
right.
hill, the property, yeah, the rec
All
department.
right,
could.
so just the building. I mean,
I don't, if you want both, send it both. I mean, it would, the
I mean,
part of it's the hill and.
I just realized that both of them, you know, it's just, I think probably slowing things down by involving them. They'll have to post agendas and all that stuff. And so I don't
Well, I
know.
think their interests are different. So if it's all parking, then that's simple. If it's kayaks and other improvements, volleyball, I don't know what the rec might want in that area. I've heard complaints that because of all the recreation areas being abandoned, that there's not a lot to do for kids other than go to the beach, which is pretty good. So it's just an idea to, it's a new property. Yes, Council Vandover.
The rec department has, expressed interest in getting involved in that, so I'm okay with that.
Is that the department or the board? There's two separate things.
The board, I'm sorry.
The board.
The board, we did have a meeting that we went to. They did express interest to both of us, Counselor Healy and myself. As far as EDC goes, I don't see a reason for them to get involved in this at all. I really think we should just get a realtor, find out what you can get for rents. We don't need the EDC to tell us. I can tell you that. Okay? Just by looking at what rents are going for. Even the commercial end of it. So we're going to rent this out as commercial and then apartments on the second floor, correct?
Right, the apartments are furnished. You could go stay on it tonight. The commercial on the main level would require some, I mean, you could move in there, but it requires a little bit of build out work on the interior if someone was to rent it. I don't,
So you're thinking
Yeah.
short-term rental, Dylan's favorite?
either long or short for the apartment.
Okay.
Commercial
Only
would
like
be
that.
seasonal, right? Commercial would be seasonal. If somebody wants to
Right.
go in. I don't-
And they are seasonal apartments, they're not year-round?
Oh, yeah,
They're year-round.
You know, we drain them and they're shut down, but you could.
Right.
You could use them year round.
But you could live there all year-round, right?
You could.
Okay.
Council Shalaba? I'm
hold
sorry,
on.
Council Vandover?
I just wanted to say also harbor management, they're looking to maybe put a right of way in there as well. I'd rather see the rec and harbor management get involved than EDC. We don't really need EDC in this project. I don't,
I would disagree,
own-
but I'll let other people
Ma'am.
speak.
We own about 5 acres of the water, so we have, if you look at the layout of the red line on your map, there's certainly right of way in the back of that goes
right,
through.
but what's the EDC gonna do? I don't
If I
understand what
can
the
answer
task
that
would be.
question, none of us up here have done an economic analysis of it. Nobody knows what the value is of it.
I can
So
tell.
this committee, you're a realtor, so you must know everything.
No, it's not that complicated. I think. if it gets-
Only engineers know everything.
I think if it gets tied up with the EDC, it's gonna get tied up with the EDC. I don't think it's necessary to go that route.
All right,
We have professionals.
that's your
in-
opinion.
In this, and I'm gonna give it, because I'm not done yet. We have,
Please set the clock so I don't have to.
we have
more than 5 minutes.
professionals in this town that can give you those answers just like that. We don't have to wait around. If we're looking to get some more money in this town, we need some money for the budget. We need some money for our sewer plant. Well, there you go. There's an extra added income to the town. And I don't think we should be wasting our time. No offense. I'm a liaison with the EDC, nothing personal. I think it's a waste of time to go that route. We can get our answers from a professional that does this every day very, very quickly. Thank you.
Council Shalaba.
Okay, I just want to clarify, this is on the pond side, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what this council needs to remember is we have a working farm on that side. And anything that we do on that side, whether it's rentals, what parking, it can affect the water with DEM and the farm. And we have to be very careful with that because that's a person's livelihood and they can lose their whole livelihood. And they've already had discussions with DEM about pollution from cars and things that can happen over there. So I just want to remind the council that whatever we do on that pond side, we can affect somebody's livelihood.
Very good.
Thank you.
Council Healy.
The rec department was brought up the rec board was brought up, but the rec department has been very clear in all of their monthly department head reports that they want to keep the hill. Secondly, who would handle the real estate of this in the day-to-day operations?
We'd have to go out to bid to get a realtor. It could be, example, it could be one of the realtors down there, a local realtor that would just manage the day-to-day. There's a fee. They'd take care of the renting it, the changeover, the cleaning service going in.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's the way we can set it up, right?
I had that same assumption, but I didn't want to broach that.
So why do we need the EDC
Excuse
if we
me,
already know what to do?
Excuse me,
Yeah, you guys spoke already.
if
You can speak last.
that real estate guru, is that something that the Economic Development Commission could help on? I'm trying to bucket, because I see like 4 different buckets for this property on different things.
I think the Economic Development Commission could look at it and give opinions to the council as to maybe if you want to look at some other use, or is it the best use of it, or is that,
Okay.
you're not gonna change it. I have no idea. Somebody might come back and say the building's not even worth leaving there, take it down.
All right, so I guess my suggestion on this is something that I've heard from the EDC when they come to us, is they need very clear direction. So my suggestion is that we give them a bullet point on exactly what we want them to do. And we do the same thing for the rec board and potentially the harbor management, but I also recognize the oyster farm. So that might get messy, but if we can give point blank, EDC, we need you to tell us this, this, and this. And rec board, we need you to tell us this, and this. We don't need a thesis. We don't need any of that. We need quick information so we can figure it out and either start making money on it, or we're gonna have to do construction to the area. And none of us are gonna wanna see that in that area in the summertime. So we're running out of time. I think we need to, if we're gonna do something, I'm glad it's on the agenda. I would like to see this brought to the next stage tonight.
Keep in mind,
Councilor
not to interrupt, we can also, I could move forward with trying to get a bid for a realtor to go in there to move forward with renting them while this other stuff is taking place.
You could, but I'm also looking at the marina, and that's 2 years, without any action. So I just thought a committee could give us some impetus. I don't mean to speak before everyone, but Councilor Niemeyer?
So with regards to which committee this is going to go before, I think Board of Rec it makes sense. And the Economic Development Commission is charged with economic, development and revitalization. I think a component of that when you're looking at properties is not just the base value of the property or the immediate obvious value of the property, but also pushing past that to see what kind of other notions a person might have for the development of the property in other ways. And that, I think, is why it belongs in front of the EDC. So I would be in favor of that. I also second Councilor Healy's point that they are going to need a pointed recommendation on what we actually need, which actually echoes Councilor Vandover's point a little bit, that they can be a little bit ponderous, particularly when they don't have a particularly strong direction from the council. So what I will say is that if we're going to do this tonight, let's give them a very specific thing to look at. But I do think that the two boards listed here are the correct ones.
Okay, who hasn't spoken? Council LaPetra.
First of all, let me just say, President Duhamel, when you respond to every single counselor, you are out of order. You've had about 5 turns now.
Thank
okay?
you, sir.
So I would just like to say that the EDC's whole job would be Stan Realty. Would you like to rent this? Done. Okay, that's a whole purview for the EDC. But I know why you want to have EDC involved, Chris. We'll get to that. I'm sorry, I'm out of time. All right.
Actually, the only time, just a point of order, Mr. President, the only time you time the counselors is counselor's response. If we're going to put a timer up during
Point of
debate,
order, Mr. Aiello, there's nothing to do with this discussion. Don't interrupt the counselor.
excuse me, it does,
It
because
does not.
people are,
Your management of the clock has nothing to do with this.
yes.
Go ahead, Mr.
You had
LaPetra.
someone
Please
time,
continue.
are you having anybody
You're
being
out of
timed?
order, Mr.
Are you
You're out
having
of
anybody
order.
timed?
What's your point of order?
Are you having anybody timed?
What's your point of order?
The point of order is that council response, you're limited to 5 minutes. If you're going to set a time limit for any debate, it needs to be set by the whole council prior to the debate starting.
All right, point not well taken. We do have our rules that says councilors have 5 minutes to respond. You know the rules.
You're wrong.
You of all people know the
I
rules.
appeal the chair's
Point
decision.
not well taken.
I appeal
Go ahead,
the
Mr.
chair's
LaPetra.
decision.
I'd like to finish my comments.
appeal the
Bill's right.
chair's decision.
I second that. Bill is right. Once again, the 5-minute responses to citizens' comments, Chris. You have to know the rules as a chair. You have
I
to
do
know.
know the rules, Mr. LaPetra, but thank you for pointing it
You
out.
talk a lot. I tell you, you do talk a lot.
I talk a lot.
Yeah.
I think there's a,
Well, okay,
let's add it up.
we'll skip it. Oh, we should, but we'll skip this because we'll come back around why you want the EDC involved, all right? First of all, the EDC's
So for
whole,
the record, the president has disregarded
as usual,
the appeal
as usual.
and has misquoted the
Point
rules.
well taken. It's in our rules. We can time every council.
Once again, you're wrong.
Mr.
No, you
Aiello.
cannot.
Not in
No,
our
you
rules.
cannot.
Not in our
Including
rules.
Mr. Aiello.
You,
Thank you for your input.
you're wrong. Read the rules and read
Please
Robert's
shut your
rules.
Mic off.
Read the rules.
Please shut your mic off.
Okay, so EDC, the only thing the EDC could possibly have an avenue to do here is call Stan Realty. Town manager just said he could do it himself. He's probably already halfway having this whole thing figured out. The EDC has no role here at all, none. Now, you know who does have a role here? The rec board, the rec department, who's been involved in this. If you look at the members of the rec board, Josh Arnold, Jerry Orth, they go to the beach every day. You have Katie Pendola Leach, who's at the town beach every single day. What would be a better board to put something down Atlantic Avenue in front of than the rec board? But why do we always want the EDC involved? Why does the Democratic Party always have to use their hatchet team, the EDC? Okay, let's see what the EDC has done. First off, they brought them in Potter Hill Dam. The best thing to do for an economic development.
You're out of order, Mr.
No, the best thing,
Just stick to
Okay.
this agenda item.
I think
We're not
you want.
critiquing the EDC on our
Of
agenda.
course we are. I want to
We're
know, your
asking-
EDC's on the
We're
agenda.
asking to refer it to.
And I want to tell you why I'm not. This is my discussion, why I don't want to refer to
Please put
EDC.
5 minutes on
Okay.
Mr. LaPetra.
Well, there's no 5 minutes here, but.
Disregard, no.
5 minutes.
Point of order. The president doesn't have the authority to set the time limit.
5-minute recess.
No, I want to finish
No,
my comment.
no.
All right. So. 5
No.
minute recess.
I'm a no.
Oh,
I'm a
I
no.
want to recess. I want to get this over with.
Aye.
I'm going to be even worse when we come
Any
back.
opposed?
I'm opposed.
First thing, if you want to address me, you go to it. Or with respect, or just. Something she did for, I don't know. Who you think you're talking to, you live in your mom's house and you want to do my job. Yes. It'd be like she's somehow bad. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. My house. And I'm not gonna say this is why I don't want to see this in the okay. Yeah. It's a time. It's tough. I don't know. I don't know. It is right across the street from the beach. It is just that. It's something. They said the time.
Okay. Bring the meeting back to order. We had a 5-minute recess on item 8F for 328 Atlantic Avenue property. Mr. LaPetra, you had the floor, I believe, if you want to continue.
I want to just continue on why we're not involved the EDC on this because the EDC seems, like I was saying before, they seem to be the go-to board whenever the Democrats have a special interest in something, and it's always been the EDC that has promoted the Democrats' special interest. So already I know that something is afoot.
Let him,
Let me-
I'm sorry, go ahead. Point of order.
I don't know why you always have to say it's a Democratic thing. It's not always a Democratic thing. Why don't you just stick to the facts and stop making it political?
Those are the facts.
Well,
Those are the facts. I mean, every person that Doug Brockway was reappointed 4-3 by all the Democrats. Let's just go back through the history. The Democrats didn't want the Potter Hill Dam to be taken out, even though the Potter Hill Dam would have meant 5 million more fish in this town. It would have been the biggest economic diversity move in the last 20 years, but they brought in the EDC to go against their own mission statement. Let's move on to what was almost criminal in my mind, when they walked in here with Nick Scola, paid all of the permit fees, and told us that we needed to put 800 units on Shore Road and practically destroy the town. That's your EDC. Every step of the way, they've been backed by the Democrat Party.
No
In fact,
Democrat
you
wanted,
voted
no
with them every time.
Democrat wanted 800.
Point of order.
Of course they did.
Let's
No,
just,
they did.
We
point of
went
order. We're not gonna have a debate.
I'm
Just
gonna name, I'm gonna
please say
name,
what you want. and
I'm
then
gonna name
we're
the
move
four, I'm
on.
gonna name the 4 people that voted to stop Nick Scola in the EDC for 800 units on Shore Road. Myself, Republican, Bill Aiello, Independent, Robert Lombardo, Independent, and Phil Overton, Republican. If the Democrats had their way, this town would be ruined right now, along with the ED. They always bring the EDC when they have a hatchet job, always.
You know the
All
fact
right.
is wrong.
It's
It's 100%
is
true.
done.
100% true.
Councilor
So now,
Lava.
what this tells me,
Are you done, Mr.
no,
LaPetra?
I haven't finished. She keeps cutting me off. I'd still my
Well,
floor.
how much more do you need?
Well,
Let's be fair to the council.
Okay, then I'll be fair to the council, Chris. What do you have in mind? If you're bringing EDC, what's the special interest now? What are you doing with 328 Atlantic Avenue? I know you're up to something.
Okay,
What do you have in mind?
this isn't a dialogue.
Well,
You-
we're not-
are
we're
you
not-
finished?
Well,
You
listen,
finished?
it isn't just a call stay in realty. We know that. There must be something you have in mind, and I guarantee the special interests are involved, and the town's gonna get screwed. Leave them out of it. It doesn't have anything to do with them.
Okay, anyone else want to speak?
Mr.
Councilor Niemeyer?
Mr. President, motion to continue this matter to the next meeting and to move on to item 10, to skip forward to item 10, citizens'
Second.
comments.
Second.
Motion made, second discussion. I didn't get a chance to respond, so I'm going to do it during discussion. There's nothing planned by the Democrats. There's nothing planned by the president of the council. That what is planned is to get money that the town invested in, that the property that we bought,
Mr.
to
President,
get
the
money
motion,
into
motion is on the
my
floor.
term is the.
Motion is on the floor, Mr. President,
And
and it was
and
second.
I'm in discussion. I'm in discussion. So
Did
the
they withdraw,
point,
did he withdraw the motion? I'm
are
not
you guys,
understanding what's
are
going
you
on.
guys just so inconsiderate?
I'm just,
Can't let anybody
I'm
speak.
trying to
until
understand that
yourself?
there was a motion withdrawn.
You don't like the answer that I'm giving is because I'm just trying to get money in for the town. We have these scheduling meetings with a manager for agenda items. Mr. LaPetra had no problem with it. He wanted the recreation board to have some input to it. And I said, of course you can do that. But we need money this year for the properties that we already own. And that's what this is all about. The EDC gets nothing. They're volunteers. They have no skin in this game. So that's what we're talking about here. If you want to continue it, you made the motion, but I would like to refer it. Like I said, with the marina, an asset that has been squandered away for the last couple of years. This will be the same thing. Just further discussion?
If I withdraw my second and we do not continue, can the liaisons be given the I just think that they need direction. I need these boards just need direction. And I really want us all to feel like we have a say in it. But I hear you and I hear you and I don't know what the right thing is here. Do we wait and come up with those bullet points and have another argument over the same stuff again? Or do we push it through and hope that the liaisons I know myself, and I'm not going to speak for you, Rose, but I know your values and your morals here. We will bring this to the rec board and give them direction with all of us. I can't speak for anybody else but myself. I don't want to see us in this perpetual whatever we're in right now.
Yeah, I don't want to insult the individual boards. We can give them bullet points. I don't know if we can do it in this context tonight because there's so much animosity going on. I don't, for what reason, I don't know, but Councilor Niemeyer?
Insofar as continuing it to the next meeting, I feel like if we are going to deliver specific wording to them with a very specific direction, which I think is necessary, we don't seem to be in that headspace as a council right now. And I don't think we're going to get there tonight. So that is part of why I am proposing that we move forward to citizens' comments. And to be perfectly clear, after citizens' comments, I'm intending to motion to adjourn.
And
Okay, is there any other comments?
I got one comment, just a question for the other councilors, and because you talk about bullet points. Other than a couple phone calls, Stanton Realty, which would take 60 seconds, what bullet point are we giving the EDC?
So
Think on that.
So during the scheduling meeting, you didn't come up with any of that. Now, all of a sudden, you have an epiphany.
I'm just asking for a bullet point.
That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to give the public, how the discussion has gone.
Mr. President, can you have the
Councilor
clerk read
Daly.
back the motion, please?
Call for the motion. All in favor of
Can you have her,
continuing it?
can we have her read the motion, please?
I had a motion by Mr. Niemeyer, seconded by Ms. Healy, that the aforesaid matter be continued to the February 9th regular meeting. And I believe he said, and to move forward to citizens' comments. Is that correct?
Well, you can't skip over G, but without another motion. Call the vote to move this to item 8F to the next meeting, if there's room on the next agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
No,
Any opposed?
Opposed.
opposed.
I'll vote yes. That's continued. Moving on to item 8G, this is audio record. Request that boards, committees, and commissions maintain an audio record of meetings, discussion, and possible action. This was asked for by Councilor Vandover. So I'll defer to you on this.
Thank you. I just would like,
Point of order, Mr. President, we had the motion to go to 10,
There is no
citizens'
motion.
comments. Yes, it was part of
It's
that
on the
motion.
agenda.
It was part of that motion that Councilor Niemeyer made.
That's why I was opposed, because you got to listen to the motion. I didn't agree with the motion, but I lost 5-2. You want to revote? I'd be happy to reconsider.
Only just,
Okay, citizens' comments. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on any
So we don't want to do AG, now that you know that we're actually skipping away from AG and 8H, Chris, do you want to reconsider your vote on that?
we can move, we've already voted to go to 10.
my idea is coming back to it, Rose. I think we can come back to it
We can, yeah.
after citizens' comments. If that's acceptable. Citizens' comments, this is a point of the agenda where citizens can speak on any subject. They have a matter of 5 minutes. There's nobody in the audience. And I'm sorry, would anybody like to speak on any subject, not just the agenda?
How's this work, Pat? My name is Bill Mitchell. I'm at 47 State Street here in Westerly. I grew up in Stonington, my wife here in Westerly, but we were away for 50 years. And we lived in the bottom of Maryland, in St. Mary's County, Maryland. My kids went to a Catholic high school there. And I remember I was coaching girls basketball, and we had a principal that was just, he was brought in to weed out some people. And he did that, and then he started going after the good people. And I asked him one day, I said, you know, if all you have is hammers in your toolbox, you're going to treat everything like a nail. So I was just venting one day to Brother Romuald. Now, Brother Romuald was a genius. And I was complaining about this principle. And I said, you know, what are we going to do with him? He goes, he needs your help. Every one of you here need each other. What do I tell my grandchildren? What? That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Anybody else in the audience? Hearing none, Council's response. Okay, Councilor Petra.
Mr. Mitchell, State Street, you're in the sewer district, correct?
This isn't a dialogue, you know.
Okay. It was a rhetorical question. So you sat here for the whole meeting. You heard that the sewer tax will probably go up $900, and your comment was about Brother Romuald. It's too bad.
Any other comments? Councilor Shalaba.
Thank you for speaking to us. I'm sorry on behalf of this council that we can't seem to be respectful to each other and to let each other have a conversation and finish their thoughts without being disrespectful. I don't like that it keeps turning political about things. I don't like how it happens. I don't like lies that are spread. I don't like attacks on each other. It's not productive. It's not bright. And it doesn't help what the audience and the public see. So I appreciate you coming up and talking to us. I just hope it gets better. This is why a 5-minute recess was called, to stop the madness, to hopefully clear heads for a few minutes. All I know is I'm going to try to do better, but when somebody says something that's not true about me, I'm gonna state the facts, and there are records of things that were said tonight that weren't true about me. So that's all I'm gonna say. But I think we all need to do better. We all need to respect each other better. We all need to hear what the town manager has to say, where we're going on things, and stop making it political. We have to work together.
I make a motion to have Mr. Mitchell have a second time.
I'll second that.
Motion made, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr.
I
Mitchell.
go back to what I said before. You need each other's help. Reach out. All you do is fight. They need your help. You will learn sometime what I'm talking about. I don't care about the issues that you're doing in here, things like this, all these things, because you're here to make these decisions for me. I expect we have a council that's going to do the best we can for the citizens of this county, this town. You have hard decisions to make. You can't make them if you're going to do what I saw tonight at the end of last year's last meeting. That's the first one I ever walked out before the meeting was done. You have to reach out to one another. I don't care how mad you are at the other person. If you want to fight, this is what's going to happen. You start here, and then you just go flying off. And you get nothing done. Take each other to lunch sometime. Go for a coffee. Go the one you don't like the most. It's amazing what you two and two together. But right now you're doing 1 and 1 is 1. And 1 and 1 should make 3 at least. You need each other. You've got to understand each other better. With what you can do, you are incredibly bright people. And you're not using your talents. Reach out to the other one. Reach out.
Thank you, sir. Well said. Continue with citizens' comments. Anybody like to speak? Yeah, seeing none, I do agree that this council needs to get together more, and it's my goal to make that happen and to work together and not embarrass the town as I've been doing. That was citizens' comments. There's no one else to speak. I did not want to not go over 8G because Councilor Van Dover was
Make a
very
motion.
concerned.
I can make a motion, move to item 8G, if that would.
I'll second.
Motion made second. All in favor to go to 8G?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now on 8G, audio record. Request that boards, committees, and commissions maintain an audio record of meetings, discussion, and possible action. Councilor Van Dover?
Thank you. I spoke with Counselor ALO, and he had a really good idea that there are certain boards, and I'm flexible on this. There are certain boards that don't come to the town property for their meetings, such as the rec, concerts on the beach, and what was the other one? Veterans don't come here. There's probably others, yeah. Housing Authority doesn't come here as well. Those I'm content with not making it an issue for them. However, I don't see any reason why, if they're in the town hall, Mary's office is right there, why they can't get a recorder. I think it's important. I think when our constituents want to hear what happened in a meeting, maybe they missed it, whatever, they have an opportunity to go on to Clerk Base and listen to the meeting. I think it is very beneficial to everyone involved. So I don't see the harm in it. If someone can tell me what the harm is in it, I will maybe reconsider, but I think it would be a wise decision. And again, we are here to answer to our constituents, and they need to hear what's going on in these meetings. They can't always make it here to the town hall, and that's why we record them. So that's my case on that. And thank you for listening.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Councilor Healy?
Question, and maybe for the solicitor, for the Board of Canvassers, although it's not a board that the town council appoints or anything, would that be considered under the clause of needing to be recorded?
We do appoint the board of canvassers.
We do.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I'm not certain of the answer.
Okay, thank you. And that's the main reason I asked is because the political town committees are who bring forward those names, and then it goes that way. So that one is my question. And then my second, not necessarily question, but my concern, and the way I think that this might be a middle ground is perhaps the town council writes a memo to all of these boards to let them know that outside of Mary's door, hanging on the door handle, is a recorder, and they are free to use the recorder and return it back. My concern comes with the time and energy that it will take to document all of the recordings. And that time commitment that I don't know, I would have to defer to the manager on that time commitment that would be put on our clerks that are, they're busy. They're busy from the moment they're there to they leave. So, though that is my main concern is the workload, asking staff to do an additional task that they may not have been aware of, obviously. So a mandate, I don't know if I'm necessarily in for a mandate. I feel like that, we've talked about some government overstep here. I don't know about a mandate, but I definitely think about, like I said, a memo, so people, folks might not have any idea that it's even a possibility. Some people might want to do it. Some people might be like, we're in and out of here in 2 minutes. What's the point? So I just don't, I'm in the middle here, and I am most concerned about your staff. That's where my concern lies.
Council Niemeyer?
So I was initially kind of skeptical of this request, but the more I've thought about it, the more, and in particular spoke with a reporter about it, they showed great interest in it, and they really sold me on the civic nature of putting this request out to the boards and committees to record, so that people can know what's going on with them, at will. I do echo some of Councilor Healy's concerns to that end. I was hoping we could, at the end of this, request 2 memos. One, a draft memo that would go out to the boards and committees with this request, so we can get a sense of what we would be voting on to send to them. And a second memo from the manager detailing what kind of staff time would have to be dedicated to maintaining this effort if it were to be applied to all boards and committees that meet in the town hall. I think that would be the best way to go about it, and then hold the vote at a future meeting.
Council Shalaba?
I think if we're going to tape the boards, I think it needs to be all boards, whether they're here in town hall or they're outside of town hall, because it's only the right thing, because, housing is important. And we should know what's going on there. Just because they're not here doesn't mean that they should be excluded. We do need to find out how the logistics would work. It sounds like we do have enough equipment to make tapes at this point, but it would be getting it back, getting it translated, getting it on record. But again, for me, if we're going to tape it, it should be all, not just certain ones that we want to pick and choose. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Council Aiello?
Yeah, Council bent over and I did speak at length about a few things, and so none of this is a surprise to her. Mandating it, I wouldn't mandate any of it. The critical boards like planning and zoning and such are already recorded. Council meetings are recorded. The other ones, Council Healy mentioned the staff time to do this, and also these are volunteers, and we don't always have people knocking down on doors to get on the boards, committees and commissions. So adding another layer that they're gonna have to stop at town hall, pick up a recorder, record, in addition to doing the minutes that they have to file, and then bring the recorder back to the clerk's office. That's just, you got the staff time, you got the volunteers. Let's not make it more challenging and more cumbersome for volunteers. If I wasn't on the council and I was volunteering board, I wouldn't even bother. You want to throw another step in there? I'm out. It's just, and maybe convenient for some, but if you want to make it, if the council wants to make it, voluntary, say recorders are available in the clerk's office. If you'd like to record your meeting, more than welcome to. But as it was mentioned before, they're public meetings. Anyone from the public can come and record the meeting. My suggestion, if a board member wants to record it for their own use, I would let everybody there know that I'm recording it for my personal use. if somebody's recording it for taking minutes, then that recording has to be filed. So that there's opportunities for recordings as it is. So I can't see making it mandatory, make it, I should, just let people know that the clerk has recorders available if anybody wants to record them. And that's all I really have to say for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? I would lean to it. Oh. You gonna save me?
I was just gonna, as far as the record, so first of all, I just was chatting with Sarah. The Board of Canvassers currently does record their meetings and they are posted on Clerk Base. It's already done.
Harbor manager definitely does.
Oh, you're talking about harbor management? Oh, okay. So the Board of Canvassers, a couple of my concerns is and I agree with some of what Bill said. I think we struggle with some of these boards to get someone to take minutes and type the minutes up. The more steps you add, the less you're gonna get people to cooperate. You can certainly allow people to do it. And the other thing, the clerk's office, although Mary is here a lot of times late, closes at 4:30. I don't know that it's a smart move to start putting tape recorders outside the door and get it and put it back. You don't know what board or whatever. I think we'd have to come up with some other type of system to get recorders. And it certainly would be a added responsibility on the clerk's office to get all these meetings posted. And then if someone didn't post it, if someone didn't show up, if the battery died halfway through the meeting, who's getting them a new battery or whatever. So there is some things to consider, when doing this. I mean, I understand the reasoning for it because certainly it makes sense. People know what happened. But it certainly there's a few steps and things I think have to be sorted out before you mandate all these meetings to be recorded.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna say, I agree with Councilor Yellow in this instance about not being mandatory. If it's, most of the committees that we're talking about are advisory committees to the planning board, to the town council. The committees that have authority that make decisions, they're all taped. They're readily tracked. So the public can easily catch up to the meeting minutes or what the direction of those committees are, the planning, the zoning, the licensing board. Those are committees that have final say. They don't even go to the council. So the other committees, harbor management, they type it regularly. The appointments, do you tape yours? Okay. Okay. I'm not against, having the tape recorder. I think the town should buy each board a tape recorder, so that the chair has it. And he can bring it in and out as they feel. To show up at 4:30 and get it off of the door, I think that is problematic. I don't know how they do that, and I was told by the clerk that it's not burdensome, that you can download it. But it is burdensome.
Didn't sound enthusiastic over there, I noticed.
So if it's not mandatory, is that something that you would agree with, Councilor Vandover, or is it?
Well, my concern is if we don't mandate it, it won't happen.
It might not,
And that's the point.
but
That's
what's the value? I mean, what's the risk to the taxpayers?
The risk is that we don't get the facts. God forbid something happens like what happened to me, and there's no record of it. It's my word against somebody else's. It's your word against somebody else's. How does that? To me, it's a no-brainer. I mean, I have nothing to hide. I'm happy to be recorded. And as far as these boards being voluntary, well, they volunteer knowing that these meetings are going to be recorded. I don't think it stops anyway. We in our subcommittee, we tell everybody we're recording them. No one has had a problem with it. Nobody.
No, of
They
course.
say, oh no, we're gonna leave. We're not gonna do this. Nobody. So with that being said, I disagree. I don't think the volunteers will have a problem with it. It's again to to have something on record if something happens, like, again, what happened to me.
What happened to you?
Really? Do we need to go over
Was it
that?
in the meeting?
It was 6 hours of us sitting here, them talking about what a horrible person I was. And you don't remember that, Chris? Where were you? Because I was
I
here.
don't think you were.
July, yeah.
Didn't happen in the
Point
meeting.
of order,
What are you talking about?
who has the floor? Is it Counselor Vandover or?
I have the
Which-
floor.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Point of
so,
order.
but what, you don't, do I need to remind you what happened? I got slammed for 6 hours by people I don't even know, accusing me of something that I said or didn't say. And then it was my word against somebody else's. Now, that wasn't fun. And it was a total waste of taxpayers' dollars. I'd rather spend taxpayers' dollars on having it recorded than spending taxpayers' dollars having us sit here, having something like that happen without any proof. No proof. My word against someone else's word.
Very good. Thank
Not
you.
good. Hold on.
Let's call for a vote. Do we have a motion?
Ms. Vandover has the floor. Let her finish.
Do you have a motion you want to make? We
Yeah,
can
I
I'm
wanna
gonna say,
vote on it.
point of order, Ms. Vandover is
To-
still a recognized speaker.
Mrs. Counselor Shalaba's point, I was trying to be a little negotiable. I didn't think it was necessary for some of these committees that are off campus to have to come here and get a recorder. So with that being said, if it has to be everybody, then it should be everybody. But again, my concern is if we don't mandate it, it's not going to happen. And that is exactly the point. Thank you.
Would you like to make a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to mandate that all boards and committees need to have some type of recording device to record their meetings.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll just make a quick discussion comment.
In a second, then we can comment, right?
There's no discussion
Well,
unless there's a second.
then I'll second it just to say what I'm gonna say.
Okay. Discussion.
The discussion is, I do sympathize with what happened to Ms. Vandover. It was terrible. It's not something she should have ever had to go through. But I'm not gonna vote to mandate this. I think it was a terrible, hopefully isolated incident. It was, mistakes made all over the place there, but I think it's an overreaction to mandate all these committees to do this. I think having the option, like Mr. Aiello, I think Mr. Nehemiah, maybe everybody up here said is a good compromise. Sorry, Rose. It doesn't mean I don't sympathize. I'm sorry what happened to you.
Any other discussion? Okay, motion is on the table, seconded by Councilor Petra. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
No.
Full vote?
No.
And I'm sorry, Mary, can you just, is the word mandate in the motion?
For all boards.
Mandate for all boards? I'm sorry, Rose. No.
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 I'm going to vote no as well. Do I have another motion?
It was no.
I'll make another motion to send out a memo regarding the access or availability to recording devices for all board meetings.
I'll second that.
Motion made, seconded by Councilor Shalaba. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved. Memo will go out from the clerk that the recording devices are available.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Okay, after Sean talks, I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn.
I don't think it-
Well, because White House is thinking. Go for it.
I would just like to add real quick, I did bring in some soupy and some cheese for executive session. And I'm telling you, I take the Pepsi challenge with that United Theater soupy any day of the week, if you guys want to have some good soupy.
All right, let's get through this quickly if we can, Mr. President.
Mr. Manager, you want to give your reports, town council and town manager?
Well, the council one, I guess if you guys have any questions, I'll go through the manager one. I think it's important that everyone's just aware of the things that are on the manager report. So there's a letter from the, REMA stateside on the radio tower that we had a lengthy discussion on that just basically said, hey, forward any potential new locations, which I am, to him, and they'll consider it and look at and do an evaluation on. There's a finance manager's, finance director's report. And again, just in a nutshell, rather than read it, just the revenue collected were at 59%, the expenditures are 47% overall, meaning overall for the town. And same with the water department's 54% collection, 46% expenditures, sewer 62% collection, 50%, and then transfer 62% collection, 45% spent. So it's all very favorable looking forward in the year. There's also the report from the school department side, which shows the expenditures and revenue coming in. Obviously, the revenue is funded by the budget. And then the one that I always want everyone to be aware of. So there was an email that I received from Senator Whitehouse's office regarding 1.85 million we received. They did do some of the allocations on the federal side. They haven't done in a year and a half now. So we received 1.85 million, which we applied for a year and a half ago towards lead service line replacement, and then 680,000 to sewer relining. So it's 2.4 something million, which is a huge benefit to the town moving forward with some of these projects.
Chris, may I ask a town manager a question?
Please.
I noticed we're about, what is it, 7/12 of the way into this fiscal year, about 58% of the way. Is that correct? That math pretty close to you, Sean?
58, yep, 58%.
I'm looking at the Westerly Public Schools. Where are their total expenditures at 58% of the way through the year? What percentage is their total expenditures at right now?
Expenditures look like they're at about 30.9%.
30.9%. This is more directed to the town council. 58% of the way through the year, their expenditures are at 30.9%, but we can't find any money for the sewer tax.
Any other questions of the manager?
I do.
Please.
Okay, Mr. Manager, regarding the election, the mail-in ballots on your, we sat through a meeting with the Board of Canvassers regarding this, and I was just, is this already set in stone? Because we had some issues with how they come to determine what a disability, who's disabled and who's not. And we couldn't really get an answer from the gentleman, what was his name, Mr. Rock? Rob
Mr.
Rock.
Great guy, by the way.
A very nice gentleman, very, very informative. No, this doesn't reflect on him. But is this a done deal?
Okay, I apologize, but this is the council's report. It's not, so Mary, you're gonna have to.
It's in the
Mary,
town council
you have to-
report. yes.
Sorry, I apologize.
No, Mary, you're gonna have to help me out with this one. I wasn't at the canvassers meeting. There's two bills presented. I'm assuming looking at this, two House bills presented. One's is military and disabled. I'm not sure if they voted on it yet. Are you, Mary? Did
Well,
they
the council, the Board of Canvassers supported each of these proposed
support
legislations.
each of the proposed bills?
We sent a letter, but
Beth is asking, are they passed on the state level yet? I don't think they've moved any bills forward.
I would have to look that up. I'm not sure. This
So they
just, the letter went to
supported-
the House.
Yeah, they supported both of those bills.
Okay,
So I don't know if they've been passed at the state level yet.
yeah, the reason I ask is because there's some red line stuff
That's showing what's being amended in
What's
the
being amended.
legislation.
okay, so we don't know if this has been approved yet or not?
I don't know if it went before the Senate
I'm
yet.
assuming not. I don't know if I get updates on different bills for the towns and cities. And are you familiar, Sarah, if they've approved anything?
Don't know.
No, I don't think
Okay.
anything's been approved yet.
All right, thank you.
I had, did you speak? I'm
I,
sorry.
I don't, we gonna get a chance to talk in this bill, or do you want to, wait for town council report? Or I would like to respond to that point as well.
I thought we were on the town managers, so.
Yeah, it kind of cut under the
No, I'm
wrong
fading
topic.
out here, so I'd like to ask one question.
Go ahead, Chris.
The grants from Senator Whitehouse, the $1.85 million for lead service line replacement, does the town have a policy yet on who can receive those funds? Is this for private, on the private side of the meter? Or is this just the public
It'd
side?
be the public side. We applied
okay.
for the public side. Again, we're still applying for the program. Remember the one that, you remember the one that's presented to council, the 0% funding? We're doing all that. We're still moving forward with that, which includes the public and private side. This funding here we applied for was the public side, the part we owned.
Okay.
Okay.
Just for the record, weren't we supposed to take a vote to skip over town council? And go straight to town?
Chair, we can go back to town council.
Okay, I didn't know if we were supposed to, I don't want to be out of order.
Yeah, we're all.
I'm sorry,
great
I just
genius.
didn't know if that was the procedure. I just want to make sure we're not,
Thank you for asking.
yes.
Any other comments to the manager? Okay, town council report? Councilor Pete?
I was also at the Board of Canvassers meeting, and I'd like to, just comment on that bill, that Rose touched on, because I had a problem with it, and it had to do with mail-in ballots for eligible disabled voters. Now, one of my other hats, when I'm not doing accounting for my many tax clients, what I do is, I prepare Rhode Island returns and federal returns, and this is where I have a problem with this language. An eligible disabled voter means a person with disabilities eligible to vote who is incapacitated to such an extent that it would be an undue hardship to vote at the polls because of illness, mental or physical disability, blindness, or serious impairment of mobility. And all they have to do is personally attest that they're blind. Okay, so this is it. I got my cheaters on. Oh, I'm blind. That's it. That's all they have to do. There's no legal requirement. On a federal tax return, the eyesight has to be 20/200 or worse in order to be legally blind. So I don't know if we're encouraging people to either cheat on their taxes or cheat on their voter registration rolls, but one or the other is definitely happening. And I'll take it a step further. Rhode Island's own 1040H, where you can get a property tax relief credit on your own Rhode Island property, on the Rhode Island 1040H, a break on your property taxes. You have to prove you're disabled. You know, you prove you're disabled, you have to be in Social Security disability. You have to have something from a primary doctor with a, if you're underage, you have to have a Social Security disability. If you're not underage, your primary doctor has to have a handicapped designation. All you have to do here is attest that you're disabled. So if you're having a bad day, you're disabled. It's like the person who brings their Chihuahua into Walmart and says it's a service animal. It's ridiculous. It's a workaround on the mail-in ballot voting, and it really constitutes fraud in my mind. And this is what they're doing in order to make sure that, and I hate to make it about party again, Mary, but you can't think of it in any other way. The Democrats will control the state for forever if this passes, and I'm sorry, that's the way it's going. You have to be able to prove that you are blind or disabled in some way, but they waive all those requirements.
So there were a lot of facts in innuendo made. I don't know if any of it's true. If you want to have a agenda referral that we can dig into this more, I'd be more than.
It will never matter because
We're
the
not in a
Democrats of
position-
Providence will never
We're
overturn
not
it.
in the position to debate your summary.
It's an FYI, just an FYI.
Okay.
If I just may add on to that, it goes both ways. Okay, it's not a Democrat, independent, Republican issue, because Republicans can do it too. So we should all be concerned about it, not just one side.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't. I'm just saying if you want it on the agenda, we can do that. Right now, it's just in front of us.
I don't want it on the agenda. There's nothing that we
Okay.
could do about it.
Okay. Any other comments for the town council? Hearing none. You want to make a motion?
Can we do the liaison reports? Because we skipped over that too.
Okay, I thought the
Second.
council wanted to adjourn, but
Yeah.
let's do the whole agenda. We got at least 15 minutes.
Fine. So liaison reports, I want to talk about the Westerly Housing Committee. They meet again on February 12th. They'll be having a presentation with the Assistant Town Manager, Melissa, and the Housing Fellow that we have, Diego. They have some decent ideas that they're coming up with, and they're looking to get onto the same page so nobody is duplicating efforts. And at the rec board meeting, they switched up their schedule a little bit. So they'll have 2 meetings previously to the summer and 2 meetings after the summer. Also something to keep in mind when we want to give them more things to do. Not that they can't handle it by any means. But as far as what's going on, they've got softball, Little League, and lacrosse. They're all posted. The girls' hockey still has openings, and they have a Valentine's Day themed Rockin' State coming up, which is February 13th, 5 to 8. And the Haven Bros food truck will be there, which is pretty cool. And then as a side note, I did get a lot of feedback from my suggestion last meeting regarding housing on the tennis courts. So I took the initiative to talk to the rec board about it. They were all unaware that the town still owned it. Now that they are aware, they would like to keep those and work on them and get them resurfaced and up to multi-use courts. We should be getting some sort of information from them shortly, which geared my idea a little bit, and it's still a possibility to get it on that location with a grant while also saving our recreation tennis courts and working hand in hand with everybody, making sure everybody is happy. So I just wanted to report out on that.
Thank you. Any other liaison? Council Shalaba?
2 of them. One, the library had their fundraiser Murder by the Book, and they just want to thank everybody that came out to support it. It was a success. And the other thing is the chamber is accepting applications for the Virtue Art Show, and they're working on a 2026 guideline, travel guide. So if anybody has any interest, to contact the chamber.
Thank you. Council Vandover?
Next Veterans meeting is at 2:00 on Tuesday, the 10th this month. EDC had to postpone their meeting. It was supposed to be tomorrow night. It's going to be moved to the 10th as well. And Planning Board hasn't had a meeting for 2 months, and their next meeting is scheduled for March, and I'm sorry I don't have the date. I did want to talk about the Potter Hill hearing. I mean, I don't know if this is the time or the place, but we never touched on the meeting there where basically they're waiting for funding. Nothing can be done, bottom line, right now. They want to excavate and dispose of all the fill that's polluted, remove from the fish project as well, remove all buildings, remediate. Remediation can happen without the dam process. However, the dam program cannot happen until there is remediation. So it's like hamsters on a wheel. I don't know what's going to happen. I guess there is no money as well. There's no money for the marina. That was something that you brought up, Chris. There's no money for that as well. That's why that's on hold. And I did want to say congratulations to the harbor management, our solicitor, and Sarah for all the hard work done on the rights of ways. But especially the newest CRMC approval of Everett Avenue as a state-approved right-of-way. Job well done. Thank you so much. The people of this town appreciate that very, very much. All of you have worked very, very hard, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. I also wanted to talk about the harbor management plan. I don't know if this is a place to do that or not.
Not really. I think we
Okay.
should have it as an agenda item.
Okay, I'll put it there. Thank you.
Any other liaison reports? I can just, oh, sorry, Mr. Niemeyer.
Just really quick, the 250th Commission is getting ready for the Revolutionary Ball in March. Be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be at the Armory. They also have their 100-year time capsule that's going to be opened in 21-26. You can go on the town website right now and start submitting items, written items that you may want included in it. It's going to be really fun in 100 years. Wish I could be there.
Can't wait. I'll quickly report out. The school building committee met last week, and the update is that the building project for State Street is on schedule, on budget. There's an unencumbered surplus of $849,000, so that gives some comfort to the project making all of its promises. Town Solicitor, would you like to report anything?
Yes, just very briefly, I've already sent everybody on the council an update as to the decisions from Judge Respallo, but we did want to put this in solicitor's report, so any members of the public who are here or watching would know what happened. So were two cases that were relevant to the town of Westerly that had been filed by the Weekapaug Fire District in early 2025. That involves the Sand Trail and Spring Ave. They're two separate cases before Judge Respallo. He's over in Kent County right now. So after the Weekapaug Fire District filed these two complaints, the town and the Attorney General's office, who's party to the Spring Avenue case, not the Sand Trail case, both filed motions to dismiss. Those were argued over the summer, and I think also in early September. Judge Respallo finally gave a bench decision on January 22nd. He gave a very lengthy and pretty technical decision, but ultimately he denied, he granted our motions to dismiss in part, denied it in part. Most importantly, though, he found that the Weekapaug Fire District can't ask the court to order the CRMC to halt their designation process before the CRMC. So the Spring Avenue case is going to continue in front of the CRMC, and the Sand Trail that's currently pending in CRMC's queue. That's also going to continue on their process whenever they get to it. We don't have new Spring Avenue CRMC hearing dates yet. Leah Feldman sent out some emails to the council on the case, and she sent basically a link where everybody can mark their availability. So we're hoping to get something scheduled very soon. And that's all I have. Thank you.
That's a lot. Thank you. So we're in the winning column so far.
Luckily, yes, we are.
That's good. Town Clerk,
Nothing to report.
thank you. Agenda referrals and backlog agenda items. Rose, Council Vandover.
Yes, thank you. The harbor management plan, it was approved in 2019 by the town council. The state has never approved it. It to date. It's basically just sitting in limbo in regards to the Harbor Management Commission, regarding the harbors, the rights of ways, et cetera. Does the Harbor Management Commission, I would like to ask if the Harbor Management Commission has any recommendations to update this plan before we resubmit it to the CRMC. I think it needs to get approved there, and it's been sitting there since 2019. The town council did approve it, so not sure why it's stuck. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Chris, we could bring the Harbor Management Commission in for a presentation. Would
Wouldn't
you
that
like
be
that?
nice? Any other agenda referral? Okay. Request of the town manager by councilors.
Just one.
Councilor Yellow.
Yeah, as has been the case the past few years, the maintenance of effort spreadsheet, if we can get that as quickly as possible. Yeah, if we can. Yeah, I forgot, Cindy usually does it January or February. I forgot. I thought she said January, but I'm not 100% positive. Okay. And then the specific process, I think the solicitor, Mr. Conley, had looked into this before, and I just don't remember. The process, if the council so chose to reduce it, what is that process? He has the memo for that? Okay, all right. Thank you.
Councilor Niemeyer.
Yes, Mr. Manager, I have nothing against holiday cheer, but could we take down the wreath? I feel like
Well,
February.
look.
I feel like February is about where you take them down.
I like that, Mike
Humbug.
Nehemiah. I've ever said that before. This guy's sharp.
Councilor Shalaba.
Actually, it's just more of an FYI to everybody. I've been working with, Jamie at the high school. And on, Wednesday, November 11th at 11 o'clock at 68 Pierce Street. Oh, sorry, February. What did I say? Oh, my God. Yes, February. Sorry, thank you. Next week. The news crew is going to be there. We are going to be getting food from the school to give out, prepackaged food to give out to anybody that needs it in the community. So we're having like a little, what would you call it? Just a, huh? Yeah, thank you, gathering. And on Thursdays and Fridays from 4 to 6, we'll have people at the substation that'll give out food. There's no requirement. If you need it, you need it, you come and get it. If you need one meal, you get one meal. If you need 10, you get 10. Whatever we have available, that we'll have that out for the public. Thank you.
Requests of town manager by councilors. We got sides.
Are we still on there? Can I do that?
Yeah, we're still there.
Mr. Lacy, have we heard anything about the insurance for the drone show?
No, I have not heard yet. We got all the bids back for the drones. They're doing an evaluation on them now, but I have not heard. But once, they haven't even decided on what drone company, 3 drone companies put in for it.
Okay.
So they're doing the evaluation, but that will all.
I
Yeah.
thought it was going to happen at a school committee meeting. They had their budget meetings right now, and they were supposed to go through and do their approval on their end, and they haven't because they haven't gotten anything. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. You think we're going to have enough time? Okay. All right. If not, that 60K can go right toward Dylan's sewer fund.
I also have a request.
Request of town manager, any other?
Yes, I'm glad that I was reminded of this. Sean, could I get the maintenance of effort spreadsheet for the school department? And when oh, you already asked for that? Oh, I was sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Thank you, Bill.
Any other requests? Okay, we're down to request of the solicitor by councilors. Seeing none. It's 9:27. The council want to go into executive session?
No. Motion to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn,
Second.
Yep.
second by Council Healy. All in favor?
No.
Aye.
Guys are missing out. I don't know. What were we talking, just discussion real quick. Were we going to talk about a little bit about the Fort Road litigation in the map? Is that what it was about?
Yes.
And what do you think? It's, Sarah, you think it's something that would help us?
I think it's something that we could probably put on the next week's agenda. Either Attorney Conley or I, will be here and can speak about it.
Okay.
Thank you all. We're adjourned.